Welcome in, everyone, to Nixa Live Production, brought to you by Air Services Guaranteed. This week's matchup is Week 4 between the Nixa Eagles and the Branson Pirates. It starts a 2-week road series for the Eagles. I'm Ryan Swanson, alongside my broadcast partner, Aiden Hopkins. Aiden, how we doing?
Doing good. We're in for a good week, just like we have been every single week of the COC. And I think it's been staying that way throughout the whole year because the COC is up for grabs for pretty much any team right now. Branson Pirates 1-2 going into this game, but their one win impresses every single person in the COC. They knocked off Carthage 2 weeks ago. Even though the Carthage Tigers are 0-3 right now, they are such a good team. And if they play like they played in that second quarter against every single team, every quarter of the day, they would be such a good team. And they are such a good team. It's just a matter of staying energized, not getting fatigued through the game, and just making smart decisions. And that was a good game last week. Even though we came up 14-0 at the beginning of the game, they fought back. They showed how much fight they have throughout this year. And I think the Carthage Tigers are not going away anytime soon. I think this Branson Pirate team is staying the same way. Even if they do lose this week, they're a team that's not going to go away.
All right, I agree. Well, first we're going to go in talking about both teams, how they've been playing over the season, what we think they need to do to win this game. Starting with Nixa, the biggest point I have for them is to just continue and build on that momentum. You just came out of a big win against Carthage, 34-28. You're getting ready to go in because you played Neosho and Webb already. There's two of the hardest games already knocked off. You're going to get into a little bit of an easier part of the schedule. You got to keep building that momentum, especially when we get close to the late season. That momentum is going to help them a lot. So that's one thing I think Nixa really needs to do, is just build on that momentum.
Yeah, I think momentum is a big part of Nixa. As they went 7-0 after a first place 70-yard touchdown from Spencer Ward, and then they bounced right back with a 70-yard touchdown with Dylan Burr right after that. So I think building momentum is a thing, but it's also a matter of not getting too confident. We saw some play calls that were questionable from Coach Perry. We saw some things that were not that were questionable from players on the field. It's just a matter of not getting too cocky, but also playing off momentum and using what you have to make yourself better a team on the field during the game.
And that's one thing I talked with Perry this week, is the number one thing that he says that this team needs to improve on: pre-snap penalties. We've seen a lot in games. Maybe a player doesn't know what's going on the field. Maybe just delay a game, false start. He says you're going to make mistakes when the ball is hiked, but before the snap, you got to be perfect, because those pre-snap penalties can absolutely kill you. And I agree with every word of that when I talked to him earlier.
It's been 12 years since the Branson Pirates have knocked off the Nixa Eagles. They've never done it at home. They've only done it on the road, which is kind of weird to think about. They beat them in 2010 was the last time they beat them. Now we're going to look at the Branson Pirates about what their game plan is going to be going throughout the week. So last week they were a 71% run in that 21-6 loss against the Willard Tigers, but utilized the passing game a lot more than they did in that Willard game against Carthage, and that actually kind of working out. They passed the ball 42% of the time against Carthage, against the 29 last week against Willard. So I think that if they can get that pass going along with that run game, because I really like that run game, if they utilize that pass game, they can break down this Nixa Eagles defense. And we're going to talk a little bit more about how the defense is going to look a little different this week, players that are going to come back, and we're going to talk on that in a little bit. But I think that getting both sides of the game, pass and run on the offensive side, is what they need to do to get on top early with this Nixa Eagles team.
And one thing with throwing the ball that Branson did really well in that win against Carthage is that opened the run. 3 of their 4 scores came from the run. And that's one thing that they have to do, though, is they have to establish a run game. You can throw the ball, but this Nixa defense is way different than the Carthage secondary. It is a way better secondary in terms of just overall talent. If you want to open that up, you have to establish the run first. If you're not able to get that run game going, it creates a lot of problems later. You have to find a way to get the offense going early.
Speaking of run game, we're going to talk about Nixa's run game. We talked about it every single day, every single pregame, every single game, during the game. It's just so lethal. 16.8 yards per carry against Carthage. Most of that's from that 270-yard runs that just absolutely propelled their yards per carry in the game. But I also have to talk about Dylan Burr, just so explosive out of the line. Malachi Ryder, he had 4 touchdowns. He could have been player of the game. There's just so many good things, so many good players on the team that can be player of the game every single game. And I think Malachi Ryder will definitely get his chance to win that. You guys decide that. We'll talk about that in the game. Just remember, you guys can vote on player of the game, pick who gets interviewed after the game. That's a big part. But Branson gave up 4.5 yards per carry in last week's game and 6.5 yards per completion. But speaking of completions, Nixa had 0 last week. 0 pass completions throughout the game. They threw the ball 7 times. They completed 1 pass, but it was a penalty, so it ended up not counting. So I think working on that pass game is going to be something we talked about all season, is just work on that pass game. And if they need to utilize that, and they need to start working with Nate and Drew and making it a common thing that we see in the play calling.
And one thing earlier, going back to the run game on Nixa, one thing that's made it a lot easier to get big runs down the field is that offensive line. The biggest storyline coming on offensive line being the new number 3 recruit, number 1 O-line in his class, newly 5-star recruit Jackson Cantwell. I mean, it's pretty easy to run that outside when you got a 5-star blocking for you. I mean, he's had some amazing plays this season. But I mean, that O-line is some of the best we've seen, honestly, in this program's history. I mean, it is a very, very good O-line. Very hard to go against if you're any defense in the COC right now.
Yeah, casual football watcher looks like those running backs are really, really good. They're really, really good. But those people making those holes for them are so good as well. Jackson Cantwell, not Ethan Cho. It is Ethan Cho. Oakley White. So many great players that are opening up the holes for these running backs that we're going to see throughout the year. We've seen it already so much. And now we're going to look at the defensive side of the ball for Nixa. We're going to look at the debut of McCoy Sullivan. He's been injured since late summer camp throughout the Nixa football. He's very promising on the field. Junior defensive back. I'm going to be really excited to see what he does on the field this week, especially with him working with Randy and Kevon on the field. So McCoy Sullivan, absolute dog on the field, and I'm really excited to see what he can do on the field for the Nixa Eagles.
Yeah, well, there's also been talks of, just because this is what he's going to play since he's a commit to Army, of Jaden going back to linebacker a little bit. Be interesting to see how they're going to work with that. Maybe change up the front a little bit on the defense, but Jaden at linebacker, that's a big linebacker. That'd be very scary for any running back trying to get up the line and then get met with Jaden Antonelli right up the middle.
Yeah, we're looking at a 3-man front on the offensive line, but we're also going to have Jaden Antonelli and Parker Mann right where the D-ends would sit, but they're going to be in a linebacker position, not in a stance, and they're just going to be rushing. And if we know that Branson is going to utilize their run game like they have been, those two running at the running backs is the scariest thing you can imagine. Parker Mann, absolute beast. Jaden Antonelli, if we talked about all season, is an absolute beast as well. And it's going to be tough for Gage to pay throughout the season, throughout the game, to generate yards, but that's going to be very much a necessity for the Branson Pirates team if they want to get on top in this game. Speaking of Gage DePay, his dad, Chad DePay, left the Ozark head coaching football position last year and is now on the Branson Pirates staff. And it's going to see, whenever they play each other, Branson and Ozark, it's going to be really cool to see however that goes. And I think it's a really good add for the Branson Pirates coaching staff.
And that game against Branson Ozark will be on October 13th, looking ahead at the schedule. But I mean, this should be a really good game. I feel like this Branson team, honestly, like with Neosho when we did that on week 2, this is a team that's better than what the record shows. This team can definitely play, but then again, the COC is a very, very competitive conference. One of the most competitive we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, we're going to do this later in COC picks, but I have Nixa winning by a good margin against this Branson team, but I think it's going to be the same thing with Neosho. The scoreboard's not going to tell how close this game's going to be. These are two really good teams. Branson's a team you don't want to mess with in the COC, and like I've talked about over and over again, I don't think any team in the COC is a team you want to mess with. Any team can strike at any time, and they can catch you off guard, because I can tell you nobody in the COC was expecting Branson to beat Carthage a couple weeks ago, but it was really nice to see, and I think that we're going to see more upsets throughout the year.
All right, that's going to do it up here for our first segment. We're going to send it off to the film room.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside the film room. We're going to take a look at some plays that we might see throughout the game. We're going to look at Branson's defense here at Willard. This is a 4th and 10 right here. Actually, about 4th and 7. They had a 4th and 10 on the huddle, but so you're going to look at that wide receiver on the far side in the slot. He's going to run a quick little route. I don't know how to describe it. He's going to run behind that D lineman and just absolutely cut straight forward. And I think the main concept we're going to talk about throughout the day is Branson staying on their man. That's a big part of this game, is they need to stay on their man, because if they don't, miscommunication, stuff like this will happen. So we're going to look at his ball will be snapped. He'll take the cut, and look at that. His man misses the press on him, and then also thinks that's a run, so overcommits, and then that leaves nobody on that wide receiver. And by the time his eyes realize that he's not running the ball and he tries to catch up that wide receiver, it's too late. Absolutely nobody in the middle of the field. and just an absolute beautiful play for the Willard Tigers. And Willard Tigers, like we mentioned, is a really good team. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We're gonna focus on Branson here. So now we're gonna look at another play where Branson is on defense, and this is also gonna fall in the category of staying on your man. Person you're gonna watch is gonna be the closest one to you on your screen. And what you realize is whenever this ball is snapped, those two linebackers are going to blitz, and then every single safety and corner is going to fall back immediately because this is a third down play. I don't know why they're falling back so far. They really think it's going to be a deep pass, but ends up not. But you're going to watch that guy right there close to you on your screen, that receiver for Willard. He's just going to run a simple route, and this proves that not even the toughest go routes can score many yards. It's routes like this is whenever DBs make bad decisions and all rush back, it leaves so much open room right there. So as you see, they all run back, and there's absolutely nobody there, and that leaves one-on-one with his teammate to block that cornerback, and it's just an easy route to the end zone for the Willard Tigers. So that's going to be the number one topic for Branson throughout the defensive side of the ball. Is just going to be focusing on staying on your man throughout the week, not throughout the game, and just staying on your man the whole time. Because if you overcommit and leave your man, that can open up at all times. So now we're going to take a look at an offensive play for this Branson Pirates team. And, yeah, we're going to take a offensive look. We're just going to look at it, and then we'll break it down from the end zone view real quick. So a little run play, QB keeper here. Absolutely great play design by the head coach of the Branson Pirates. Just a great game there. They only scored one touchdown in this game, but it was a really, really close game, but Willard just was really, really good on offense. So what we're going to see here is he's that running back in the right side. He's going to come on. He's going to come over and block whoever is in this part where the guard is right now. That guard's going to shift over, as we'll see right now. Now, the QB is going to go hit that B gap right there to the left of that guard. So that guy's going to start to go hit that block. Those guys are going to shift a little bit over. That guy right there, he's going to take that cornerback on the left-hand side, but you can't see him on this frame just yet. But it all works out perfectly, and that guy's going to block right in front of that tackle that's in front of him. So handoff, fake handoff, absolute huge hole. Great job of the offensive line, and great job there by the Branson running back to get things done.
All right, now let's take a moment and take a look at a couple of other Nixa plays that we had from the game against Carthage. We're going to start off with this one. This was one of the first plays of the game. So when we start to look at this one here, three people you want to keep your eye on. Right now in the Wildcat formation, you got Spencer Ward in the backfield, Roberto lined out left, and then number 26, that's Malachi Douglas, the freshman for Carthage. So we're going to go ahead and start looking at this play. First thing I want to point out is, obviously because there's trips out right, there is nobody on this left side of the field besides this man right here. And then look at the separation. They are very bunched up together right here. I mean, it's very stacked on that right side of the field. What ends up happening is you're going to see Roberta motion out right, and then there is just nobody, absolutely nobody on this side of the field. They're just playing one half of the field at this point. And then at this point, it's just a foot race. And 9 times out of 10, you're not beating Spencer Ward in a foot race. He's going to take this all the way to house. This is a great play designed by John Perry. And that was a great way to open up the game last week against the Tigers for the Eagles. Moving on to the next one. First, this time we're going to watch the play, then we're going to go break it down. So here we go. Handoff up the middle. Easy 6 points. Go and take a look at it. Now, the first thing I want to point out as we start ahead and look at this is first we got Malachi Ryder in the backfield. And then when the ball is hiked, we're going to see number 7 here move in and kind of crowd the line. But when that happens, nobody in the middle of the field. And you got the safety way out here. The closest corner is on the other end of the line, so nobody in the middle of the field. I mean, it's great blocking by Nixa Eagles. I mean, look at the hole he gets to run through. Easy 6 points, easy touchdown for the Eagles. That's one thing Branson has to look out for because this is a very, very dangerous Nixa run game.
All right, now we're going to look at another offensive play here for the Nixa Eagles. It's going to be a running touchdown. I don't think anybody's sick of him yet because it just keeps working for this Nixa offense. Running touchdowns after running touchdowns after running touchdowns after running touchdowns. They are amazing. And this offensive line, we're going to give him some credit on this one. This is going to show what Dylan Roberto sees in his eyes throughout the run because the offensive line might be a little underappreciated. So we're going to take a look at it first from this view, and then we're going to look at it from a view where you can see where everything's happening. Just a beautiful job there by Dylan Rivera. Takes it to the house. Puts up a 6. And puts the Eagles up 14-0. So we're going to take a look at it. First thing you're going to see is you're going to look at that guard to the left of Oakley, left of our center. He's going to run over here, and he's going to block right by that tackle. That other guard and Lane Melthabar are going to double team the guy right here by the guard, and then that tackle's going to go diagonal because remember that guard transferred over here, and he's going to take care of that guy right here. And then we're going to take a look at this. Wyatt Vincent is also a big part of this play. He cuts across. He brings that corner with him. Also, he gets in the way of that linebacker. As you see that hole right there. Dylan Rivera sees it, and he sees that that guy's right there, so he has to cut right. Because if he cuts right, that guy can't cut back in time to be able to tackle him. He sees it, cuts right perfectly, and a ghost town, and an easy touchdown for Dylan Rivera and this Eagles offense. I think that's about all we have for you guys in the film room. It's time for COC picks. We'll see you guys back in the studio.
Welcome back from the film room, everyone. It is now time for the COC picks. Me and Aiden are going to take a look around the conference, and we're going to pick our picks for the week. Aiden, why don't you start us off?
First one we're going to look at is Carl Junction at Carthage. Carthage 0-3 for the first time ever in football history. And like I mentioned earlier in the first segment, is if Carthage can play like they did in that second quarter against us, every single quarter of a game, they are going to be such a good team. And I think that we're going to see more of them showing that second quarter Carthage against Nixa. And I have them winning 49-7.
I think that Carl Junction put a couple more points than 7 on the board, but I feel like that those first 3 games were a lot of growing pain. The first 2 games especially were growing pains for this Carthage team, especially coming in with a whole new defense without Luke Gall. That third game against Nixa was just a showing of what they can be. I mean, ended up losing that game, but it was a very good game from them. I have Carthage winning this one 42-21 over the Bulldogs.
Retmo at Neosho, a tough loss for the Tigers against the Webb City Cardinals. That was their first test of the season, I'd say. Actually, I think Ozark was their first test of the season, and they blew them out of the water, but I think that Webb City was another test that they failed. But I think they're going to come back really mad after what happened, and I think it's going to be really similar to the Nixa Neosho game. I have Republic winning 42-14. I think it might be close for a little bit, but I think Republic breaks away and adds a lot of points on the board.
I also think it's going to be a little bit close, and then Republic's going to break away from it. I just don't see Republic losing this game, especially after the loss to Webb City. They're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. I have the Tigers winning 35-20 in Neosho.
Willard at Ozark. Going to be a really, really good game, especially at Ozark. I think that's going to be Willard's toughest test of that game is just playing at that Ozark atmosphere. I've talked to a lot of Ozark people. They say, we don't really see any changes from last year's team. All I see is a head coach change. They are not happy about what's happening with that head coaching situation in Ozark, and I think that that mood is going to continue to go on this week. I think Willard's going to take down Ozark 28-24 at their house.
I got the game a little bit less scoring than that one. I have the Willard Tigers beating the Ozark Tigers 27-21.
Now we're going to look at Joplin at Webb City. Joplin is 3-0 on the year, but I think this is their first test of the year, especially as they hit the road, especially with Quinn Renfro, their star player coming into the season. He's been out for a couple weeks with a broken vertebrae, and they've worked really well without him. But that defense Joplin has is so good. But I think this is their first test against a good offense, and I think this is the first test for their for their offense as well against a good defense. They play Branson, Willard, and Ozark. They just shut out Ozark, but I think Webb takes this game 28-21 and hands Joplin their first loss of the year.
Like you just said, I mean, Joplin has had a very easy start to the season. They're going to do a lot tougher games. I think it's going to be close, but I feel like Webb's going to take it at home. I got Webb winning 21-17.
Yeah, that Joplin game is going to be a good one, but I just think that since this is their first test, maybe if they had it at home, I think I would lean their way. But since they're on the road to Webb City, it's going to be so hard to beat the Webb City Cardinals. Now we're going to look at Nixa at Branson, the game everyone's here for. Like I say every week, Nixa, they're going to take the win 41-14. I think it's going to be very similar to that Neosho game where I said that they were really close for the first half, maybe first half of that third quarter. But I think Nixa breaks away, takes it with ease towards the end of the game, 41-14 final score.
I think that, especially what we've seen a little bit in the past little bit of history for the Nixa Eagles, is that I think Branson might catch Nixa a little bit off guard to start the game, but I think Nixa's just a better team than Branson. Even though it's in Branson, Nixa is a way more talented team than the Pirates. They got the pieces in the right spot. They're coming off a lot of momentum, especially after a big win against Carthage. I had the Eagles winning 35-14 in Branson.
All right, well, the picks are in. We'll update you guys on our records next week. We're going to step aside. It's about game time. See you guys up in the booth.
Welcome in, everyone. Week 4 action, Friday Night Lights. The Nixa Eagles go on their first game of their 2-game road series, and they travel down south to take on the Branson Pirates. I'm Ryan Swanson, alongside my broadcast partner, Aiden Hopkins. Aiden, how we doing?
Doing good. Ready for another Friday Night Lights game and ready for a good matchup between these two teams.
Very excited for this matchup. Nixa coming in off a win against Carthage, 3-0 on the season. Branson coming in off a loss to Willard. They're 1-2, trying to maybe cause an upset here on a top 10 ranked team, currently still number 5 in Class 6 in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, these two teams are definitely going to clash tonight, and I think that everyone is so used to Branson not being as a good team in the COC, but I think this year that mindset's going to change for everyone. I think we're going to see how tough Branson is. I mean, we've seen the scores throughout the games. We've seen what they've put up on the scoreboard, but we haven't really seen their game. And I think this is our chance to see what all the hype is about so far in this Branson football. As you talked with head coach Branson Pirates, he said that the mission for this team and the captains is to lead a team that cares about changing the Branson football name and changing the reputation that they have throughout the COC, changing the reputation they have throughout the state. They don't want to be known as a low team in the COC anymore. They want to be known as a top contender from year and year and year forever.
Yes, indeed. That is what he said when I spoke with head coach Aaron Hafner. And, I mean, it's definitely going to be a hard task, especially with the competition level of the COC. We've talked about it a lot on stream, but it's true. The competition level this year in this conference is very high. I mean, even a team like Branson, even sitting at 1-2, they're better than their record shows. They just play in a very difficult conference.
Yeah, speaking of competition for depth on the Nixa roster is super, super hard to earn, especially when you are a freshman. And we're going to see a new freshman wide receiver tonight, Adam McKnight. He's going to take the field with the Eagles. We're going to see him be a part of the team tonight, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. And also, I'm really excited for the junior defensive back, McCoy Sullivan. He'll take his debut on the Friday night under the lights on Fridays, as he got injured late into the summer. He got injured late into camp and really bummed out, but this is time to get back on the field, prove himself. First varsity start. I know he's been ready since week 1, even though he wasn't physically ready. He's been mentally ready for a long time. I think we're going to show how ready he was starting early in this game.
It'll be exciting to see those 2 new players added to the depth of this team. And as the coin toss there, Branson is going to be receiving the ball on the kickoff.
Nixa student section getting rowdy already, and it's kind of hard to miss them. They are in neon. I think you could see them from miles away, considering how big they are and how bright they are. And I think the Nixa student section always travels really, really well, and they seem to be ready for some Friday night football. And I think everyone else here in Branson is ready for some as well.
I'm going to agree with you on that one, Aiden. We're excited here. Friday Night Lights, week 4, getting ready to get underway here in Branson, Missouri. And I'm excited. We're getting into the middle parts of the season, and I'm absolutely loving football games every Friday. I missed it.
Yeah, I love high school sport environments, but nothing can top Friday Night Lights. I mean, basketball is really up there for me as well. Basketball environments, I love them, but football environments, so many people in the stadium, and as everyone on the Branson side gets to their feet for this kickoff, everyone in the stadium is ready.
Branson Pirates fans are getting on their feet, ready to cheer on their Pirates as the Nixa Eagles get ready to line up and send this one away. Braden Komke going to be sending this one off, and the kick is underway. Sent, received at the 10-yard line. Moving up right side, past the 20. Tackled around the 27, 28-yard lines. That was number 7, Zaire Fair, the junior defensive back on the return. And now the Branson Pirates offense is going to get ready to go to work.
That was a tough catch off the kickoff. A really good kick from Braden Kimke. A little bit over his head. He jumped up and caught that. It's hard to catch a kickoff when it's right to you, nonetheless when it's right over your head, but a great catch and a great return by him. They're going to start on the 29-yard line.
And out comes Luke McCormick, the junior quarterback leading this team against one of the better defenses in the state in the Nixa Eagles. As that first run play is going to get stuffed. Going absolutely nowhere. That was number 11, Gage Dupay, on the carry. And they're going to need, Branson's really going to need to try and get going early. I mean, the best chance you have of beating this Eagles team is when you're able to get your offense going early and try and shock this Nixa defense. You can't let Nixa defense get comfortable.
Yet to see it yet. As we talked about in the pregame show, there's talks of a 3-man front and 2 linebackers, Jaden Antonelli and Orkaman rushing. Hopefully we see that later in the game.
This time's a keeper. McCormick able to get 3 on the play as this sets up 3rd and long.
That play looks familiar. It's the exact same play that happened inside the film room like I talked about. That QB keeper. Running back goes across. He blocks the guy right in front of the tackle, and that's the exact same play we broke down in the film room. Glad to see the play that we talked about.
This triple option, something that Branson has ran for a long time, something that a lot of teams in the COC team will run. As McCormick immediately rolls out right, my left, as that pass was out of bounds. Intended for looked like number 13, David Simpson was the intended target, as that one is out of bounds. And the Branson Pirates go 4 and out.
Ryan Michelle back to receive punts, just like he has been for the past couple of years.
And it will be number 88, Tegan Osbury, the junior receiver, who will be acting as the Branson punter. As this ball is set high in the air, not far, won't even pass midfield. Hits right at midfield. The bounce going his way as it's rolling past the 45 to the 43. But it still gives the Nixa Eagles great starting field position as the Nixa Eagles offense gets ready to go to work. And the Eagles are going to be coming out with a 2-headed monster of a running game. Those two being number 5, Dylan Rivera, number 23, Malachi Ryder. Junior and senior duo have been making waves for the running back room and has made it real easy for this Eagles team. Trips out right already. Motion, handoff, Ribera gets up to the 45, trying to fight for more, but he's going to be at the 46-yard line, and a gain of 3, sets up 2nd and 7.
It's not really something, I mean, still 3 yards is pretty good, but it's usually not something you see from Dylan Rivera. He's usually a 4 or 5 yard guy, but see if Branson can contain him all game.
In the backfield again's Ribera. And we're going to get it's going to be offsides against the Pirates. Didn't see the flag come on the field, but there was one called. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And that sets up a 2nd and short for the Eagles. Chance we see a shot down the field, Aiden.
Maybe. Looking to get that passing game going after they could not get it going last week. 0 pass completions. I believe we have a timeout here.
I mean, your midfield, 2nd and 3 with your running back room. I'd be pretty confident in them being able to get it on a 3rd down. So if I'm Coach Perry, I'm dialing up a long ball. I haven't seen much of the pass game this year. Completed no passes last week against Carthage. Attempted 7. There was one completed, but it was called back on a penalty. So would love to see this pass game try and get developed early. They're going to hand it off the middle to Rabura. Rabura has space up the middle and gets up to the 39 in Branson territory.
As I was talking about, freshman Adam Knight, he stands at center field, midfield right now. He's going to come close to you guys on the screen. Number 26, the freshman, debuting on varsity.
Look how far back they're playing. I mean, only 5 yards. A little bit of separation. You might have a chance downfield if you attempt to pass. But they're going to hand it off to Rabura again. Rabura, no one middle of the field. And he takes it in for 6. Eagles on the board early.
And guess what? Another touchdown on the ground for the Nixa Eagles. It's outrageous how good this running game is and how good that offensive line is to give them that big of a hole right up the middle.
I mean, it's easy when you have an offensive line like that, especially with the new 5-star recruit, number 3 in his class, Jackson Cantwell. It's Kemke on to kick the extra point. And that extra point is good. So the Eagles take a 7-0 lead with 9:15 left to go here in the first.
So 1 minute and 10-second drive there by the Eagles. 6 plays. And they take care of business quick on the offensive side. And we saw this last week, but don't get too confident, because any team can come back at any time, even though they might look like they're down a lot early, like 14 points in 3 plays, but do not let off the gas. I think that's probably what Coach Perry learned from last week, is don't let off the gas.
And if you're Coach Hafner right now, what you need to be telling your guys is no need to freak out. It's only 1 score. There's still a lot of football left. And you don't even have to worry about getting the ball downfield. You just need to get the ball down the field. Don't freak out yet. You just need to right now worry about, first of all, how are we going to get the ball down the field? Because after a 3-and-out, they're going to need us. That's a muffed kickoff right there. Still number 7, Zaire Fair, who has it. Makes a move, but slips before he can get past the 15.
I think he's definitely going to start in the end zone for the next kickoff now. That's 2 that have been gone over his head. Well, he got lucky that first one, I'd say, but that second one he muffed it a little bit. So I definitely think he's going to start starting in the end zone.
Definitely going to have a talk from special teams coordinator Cameron Glenn for the Pirates. But yeah, I'd tell him scoot back. You need to be sitting probably around the 5. As now the Branson Pirates offense comes back out onto the field, trying to get something going, maybe get their first down, their first down of the game. 9:07 left to go here in the first. 1st and 10. Motion from the tight end. And it's a pitch out left side. And the ball's loose. Don't know who got on top of it. It looks like Branson was able to recover it.
I don't know how that ball gets out that. It looks like the ball was tossed out. It doesn't look like it fell out, because usually a fumble will roll on the ground. That one just went straight up in the air and had some air time on it. So,
and normally when there's a fumble, you hear guys on the sideline screaming. You hear guys going fumble, fumble, fumble. That ball just looked like it popped out.
Yeah, it looks like he just wanted to get rid of it and give it to his teammate or something.
2nd and 3. Only 2 receivers out wide. Motion in the backfield. McCormick. Hands off. Right side. Continue trying to move up the field. And looks like they're going to give him the first down. And there it is. Gage Dupay on the carry. And he picks up Pirates' first down of the game. And they move up to the 24.
That last name sounds familiar. You might recognize him as the son of former Ozark head coach Chad Dupay. But Chad Dupay now finds himself as the offensive coordinator for this team. And Gage Dupay followed his dad for his senior season, starting at running back here in Branson.
2 out right. Handoff up the middle. And going to maybe get a yard on this one, as that was Dupay again on the carry. As we were talking about earlier with Dupay, his offense is always this triple option. Ran it while he was the head coach in Ozark, and he brought it with him to Branson. Handoff, nope, keeper, right side. But that one maybe gets too driven back. Forward Progress going to stop that. They're going to get up to the 29. 7 minutes left here in the first. It's 3rd and long for the Pirates, and this is one thing with a team that runs this triple option is there's not too many pass plays out of that formation historically, as we've seen in this conference. So it'll be very interesting to see what they dial up here on 3rd and long. And you can see 5 on the line. Parker Mann's moved up on that left side. Quarterback keeper McCormick, pitch out left. Won't get it. Going to be stopped about a yard or 2 short.
A yard. I'd say Dupay is probably averaging a yard per carry right now, but is it too early to do this right now? Because if you get, I've said this week by week by week, if you let the Eagles go up 2 scores, it's pretty hard to come back from that. But, I mean, Carthage did it well, but I don't think most teams are able to come back from 2 scores on the Eagles. I think it might just go back forth at that point. They never really let 2 score unanswered.
And keeper up the middle, and Luke McCormick converts it on 4th down. The Pirates stay alive on this drive. First and 10. This one's spotted down at the 36. .52 left, 5:42, excuse me. 2 out right in this wishbone formation for this triple option. Handoff up the middle, but that one goes nowhere. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, that one by number 50, Michael Henniger, the senior defensive lineman. And that sets up 2nd and 11.
He's been he's stood out for the Eagles defense a lot throughout this season. He's a name that we don't bring up much, but he's had a lot of big plays, and he's been contributing to this Knicks defense a lot.
Yes, he has, and has been a huge part about getting pressure, especially in the backfield on run plays up the middle. He's been doing a great job this season. Really been all over the place. Handoff, left side, that's Dupay. And he's going to get a little bit past the original starting spot, maybe up to the 37. And that once again sets up 3rd and long. Need to get to the 46. It is 3rd and 9, not 9th and 37th on our scoreboard.
That happens.
I didn't even know that was part of the rules. Then you can get to 9th down.
That's a beautiful sunset. Beautiful.
Branson is one of my favorite places, as in just like scenery. This is a very beautiful stadium.
Baseball too. Their baseball stadium is beautiful too. They are not short of beautiful views.
3rd and 9. Drop back. McCormick over the middle. Almost picked off by number 7, Parker Mann.
He wanted that one.
He did, in and out of the hands. But it sets up 4th down as Branson's punt team comes onto the field as Nixa looking to go back on offense.
Nixa had an interception this year. I remember one, but it got called back. That was in the other show, but I can't think of any other interception.
I don't think we have it. We've had a couple of fumble recoveries, but I don't think we have yet to have an interception. And the first fumble I remember we didn't get to use the turnover bucket because didn't have it that week. Don't know what ended up happening to it, but we forgot the turnover bucket. We had it against Carthage when we got one. Okay. As this Parker Mann almost got another high punt here. Oh,
flag.
That should be interference. As Michelle was going to try and receive the punt, but one of the Branson Pirates punt team guys just decided to block him from getting the ball, but yep, Now they're talking. That should be interference.
Is that 10 or 15?
I think 10. I don't think it's a 15-yarder.
Probably 10, I'd say. Or 5, I have no idea.
It's 10 or 5. It's not 15.
It's pass interference. Oh, it's called pass interference.
So I'm assuming they're going to call it from the spot of the foul, which was their spot of the penalty.
Wow.
And it's going to be probably, well, that's probably 15. Well, it was committed back close to the 40. So, yeah, it's around 15. You were right the first time, Aiden. And now we're going to see Malachi Riders on the field instead of Ribera. They're going to tag off, but both teams heading to the sideline. And no signal for a timeout, so I assume they're going for a water break?
I'd say.
I
think it's all through September, even though it's not that hot out. I think they just mandated it for all of September, mandatory water breaks.
Make sure they want to keep the players safe out there. Even though it is a beautiful 73 degrees outside here in Branson. Beautiful night, beautiful skyline. And it's Friday Night Lights. Where else would you be on a Friday night other than here watching the Eagles play, or if you're tuning in with us live. And if you're just joining us, I'm Ryan Swanson alongside my broadcast partner, Aiden Hopkins. It's 7-0. Eagles going on their second drive with 4:07 left to go here in the first quarter. Two out left, Ryder in the backfield. And play action, Huber rolling out right, pass down the sideline, and that is overthrown. Looking for Wyatt Vincent. Maybe it was just a miscommunication on what Huber was trying to get Wyatt to do.
If we have a replay on that, I'd like to point out something. Wyatt was the primary receiver on that one. I guess we don't have a replay. But you saw Nate kind of point up. I think he wanted him to run a go route. I don't think Wyatt understood. He started running up. He didn't run as fast as Nate wanted him to, which is a little overthrow. Yeah, it's a little miscommunication. I think Wyatt was the primary there.
Handoff. Ryder up the middle, cuts back right side to the 30, and stopped at the 25. A big pickup for the Eagles, and that's an Air Services first down just outside the red zone. I mean, how do you stop this run game?
No.
Right now, no one has had an answer. 3:40 left in the first. Huber, play action, tosses it on a check down out to Michelle. Gets inside the red zone, past the first down marker, and up to the 11. That was a great play right there. We haven't really seen that this year. Normally that motion is just normally a misdirection for a run up the middle, but that time used it as a quick throw down. Not a hard pass, but a big gain for the Eagles. 1st and 10 from the 11. Handoff, Ryder. And he's going to be tackled by number 8, Jaden Finkbone, the senior linebacker and running back for the Branson Pirates. As it is 2nd and 5, not 5th and 6th. This is funny, our scoreboard. Picking up new rules for football. Another handoff up the middle. Ryder trying to fight his way in, but he's not going to get there, as he's going to be stopped actually just short of the first down marker. So that's going to be 3rd and 1. Excuse me, 3rd and 2. That ball is placed on the 3. First down marker at the 1. But I doubt John Perry is going to call anything but 2 more run plays up the middle, even if this one doesn't work.
Let's play the drive here. Looking to punch it in.
Giving Ryder some space to get a head start with a full head of steam. And He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Malachi Ryder able to punch it in from the 3-yard line, and the Eagles are up 2 scores. And here's the replay here. As Kemke comes on the field to kick the extra point. And look at this. Barely touched. We weren't able to see the whole thing. Wasn't touched till the 1 and just fell in. And that kick is up and is good. Kemke knocks down the extra point attempt. 14-0. The Eagles lead. 2:01 left to go here in the first. And the Nixa Eagles making this Branson home crowd quiet.
And Branson needs to get something started offensively immediately. It's not an option. Because if they let them go up 3 scores, not going to happen. I think it's pretty much near impossible to come back from the Eagles when you're down 3 scores.
I would have to agree with you on that one. This team has been playing really well. Really, it's just been the run game that they haven't had to throw the ball yet because the run game's been playing so well. It's pretty easy to get downfield when every run you call is getting 5 or 6 yards. And every 1 in like 7 plays, guy's gonna break out and get 20 or 30. Kemke lines it up, and this time, just like we said, return man is back at the 5. He's gonna retrieve it at the 11, moves up to the 20, breaks out right side, trying to get something, gets to 30, 35, 40, gets to midfield before he's pushed out of bounds. And number 7, Zaire Fair, with a big return for the Pirates. Hopefully trying to get some momentum back for this team, as now the Pirates gonna start on the Nixa Eagles 46.
As you saw him there, he uses his blocker as a shield. He just kind of grabbed his blocker, guided him where he wanted him, and put him in a perfect place to get some room on that right-hand side of the field. Wyatt Vincent was able to push him out of bounds and chase him down. Nixa defense does not look phased, though. They look ready, especially their red zone defense. It is absolutely locked down if it gets to that point. They are really good in the red zone. Now Branson, this is their opportunity to get some points on the board, see if they can utilize it.
McCormick lines up under center. Fakes the handoff, drops back to throw the ball. They're going deep already. That one's caught at the 29.
Randy Flint on the 1. Randy Flint, the 1 on the coverage there. Kind of just stay behind that receiver. That's never what you want to do. You gave him too much room. And by the time he realized that ball was coming to the receiver he was covering, it was too late. Made the catch.
And that's number 88, Tegan Asbury, on the reception.
Branson has the offensive momentum now with 1:30 remaining in the first quarter.
And I love that play call right there by Chad DePay. Taking a shot early, maybe trying to catch this Nixa defense off guard as they're going to hand it off up the middle. So that's going to be number 8, Javen Finkbone, but he's not going to get much, maybe a yard.
Nixa has been playing run-heavy offenses just week after week after week, and they haven't really seen a pass-heavy offense. I think if they start to use that pass like they just did, I think they can break down this Nixa Eagles defense, because expecting a run, the Eagles are really, really good on defense, because they haven't really used that passing defense as much as they have used the rushing. I'd say they probably ran about 20 to 25 plays of passing defense this season in game.
Under center, McCormick keeps it up the middle, using his running back as a shield, and gets a big chunk of yardage on this run play. Moving into the red zone, gets up to the 17 as we're under half a minute left to go. We'll see if Branson is going to get another playoff.
As I was mentioning last week for the Carthage Tigers, one of my keys to the game for them was to keep Nixa guessing, and I think that if Branson can do that as well, they have a chance to stay in this game and make this game closer.
And if they want to open up the run game, you have to start airing the ball out.
Yeah, you have to keep this Nixa Eagles defense guessing. You cannot let you cannot make them think it's going to be a run play 90% of the time, because if it is a run play 90% of the time, I'd say 89% of the time it's going to go nowhere.
And that's going to do it for this quarter of football, 14-0. The Eagles lead, with the Pirates moving into the red zone. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. This break brought to you by Air Services, guaranteed.
Now your HVAC is good to go.
Yeah, mine is not good to go. Can you fix this?
Air Services provides the highest quality work, guaranteed.
Yeah, I really thought I nailed it. Am I gonna end up paying extra for this?
What we quote is what you pay, guaranteed.
So you got any tips for an aspiring home repair pro?
You called Air Services. That was the right move for sure.
AC Diagnostic for only $73. Visit airservicesheatac.com.
And welcome back to Branson, Missouri, where the Eagles lead it 2 scores, 14-0, but the Pirates inside the red zone trying to get their first points of the game. If you're just tuning in, I'm Ryan Swanson alongside my broadcast partner, Aiden Hopkins. 3rd and 4. Big third down for the Pirates. Ball on the 17. McCormick under center, motion out right. And penalty on the play.
Antonelli believes it's on the Branson Pirates.
And false start, and that's a killer. Had all that momentum, probably hyped up, going out in the field, trying to get your first points of the game. But you gotta stay disciplined. You can't get too jumpy. Gotta stay on sides. And now it's turns 3rd and 4 into 3rd and 9. Assuming they're gonna go with the pass play here, but we'll see.
Is that not a penalty?
I was waiting for the illegal motion penalty to fly, but I guess not. Roll out right, McCormick on the run. And that pass is broken up by Broden Mabe.
Beautiful coverage by that. He started to cut back, and then once he realized that wide receiver was coming back for that catch, planted his feet, rotated it over his inside shoulder, made contact with wide receiver and broke that pass up. Beautiful job there by Broden Mabe. Set up a 4th and 9 here.
And now number 35, Dane Effred, is going to come out to try and take the extra point. This is from the 28, so this is going to be about a 38, close to a 40-yard field goal. See if he can get it from here. And that one's blocked. And Spencer has it. That one did not roll out of bounds. Up to the 20 on the right side, 25-30. And pushed out of bounds at the 37.
Everyone just kind of stopped whenever that. We saw this last year. I believe it was the Georgia college football game. They blocked a kick, and the ball was just sitting in front of the guy in the back of the field, and he just kind of looked at it. Everyone started walking out the field. He picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown. So I think coaches need to emphasize more that when that kick is blocked, that ball is still alive until that whistle is blown or it rolls out of bounds. So kicking teams need to be aware of that before.
And every time I see that, it wasn't a block kick, but it just immediately flashed back to that Alabama-Auburn game, the kick 6. I remember watching that live in my living room when I was a kid. One of the most memorable moments I ever watched watching football is Huber, quick pass out left. As that's out left up to the 49. That was to number 8, Rylan Michelle. As now the Nixa Eagles taking their turn to open up the passing game a bit.
Kevon Flint on the offensive side of the ball.
Ribera lined up in the backfield with Huber. 2 out right. 5 men on the line for the Pirates as it's still a handoff to Ribera. He's going to get the first and a little bit more. Forward progress stopped at the 46. First and 10 from the 46. Motion left. From Clayton Pruitt, the tight end. Handoff for Burrow, left side. Mixing up a bit with an outside run from the Eagles as he gets up to the 41. Right on the edge of the 40. That's going to set up 2nd and 4. 10:28 left to go here in the second. Eagles maybe trying to go up 3 scores before the end of the first half. Once again, 5 on the line for the Pirates. Drops back Huber, looking deep, wide open. Michelle caught. Touchdown Eagles. Rylan Michelle off a play action deep ball, and Nate Huber gets one of the first touchdown passes we've seen him throw this year.
40-yard bomb to Rylan Michelle. Beautifully placed ball. Didn't have to slow down at all. Caught it right in the breadbasket. Puts up an easy 6 for this Eagles offense. Looking to go up 21-0 here with the extra point from Braden Kempke.
Kick is up. And that one is no good. Kempke cannot knock that one down. And welcome back to Branson, Missouri. The Eagles go up 20-0, miss the extra point, but the play was off. Rylan Michelle's 40-yard touchdown pass. Also, Nate Huber's first touchdown pass of the season. Now him and Drew both have touchdown passes on the year. 20-0, the Eagles lead, 10:07 left to go. Here in the first half. Sends it down the field, received at the 11, as that's once again number 7, Zaire Fair, trying to get another long kick return. He's still on his feet and gets up to the 30.
Spencer Ward there, number 9. He didn't really go for a tackle there. He just went for the ball. He just kind of punched the ball and stopped tackling him. That let the kick returner break away for 5 more yards. Ball's we placed at the 30-yard line. They're down. Did he miss the extra point?
He did.
20-0 is the score. There's rumors that Kempke is dealing with a little bit of an injury. He's still trying to kick through it. 2 for 3 on extra points tonight.
Motion right. McCormick, pitch. Out to the right side as that was pitched to number 2, Kyler Langton. And that's going to get 5. 2nd and 5 for the Pirates.
I don't know how he gets up after that. He had Jaden Tonelli Parkerman and Spencer Ward on him at the same time. That is the 3 guys you do not want tackling you at the same time.
You know, one thing I really like is when teams get creative with their play calling sheets, with the signs. Like Branson with the SpongeBob sign. That is hilarious.
I noticed that earlier.
Second and 6, 9:15 left to go. Motion to the right side of the line, drop back McCormick. That ball swatted. Don't really know who got that, but from the looks of it, it might have been
Peyton Koval.
Peyton Koval. I was going to say, he was the most hyped one on the line. I'm assuming the big old number 92 got that.
It was. He came from the right side of the line, just jumped, got his hand on it, and he started celebrating in the middle of the field. He was so happy. He also has a fumble a forced fumble and a fumble recovery on his stat sheet. So his resume throughout the years stacking up pretty well.
This Nixa D-line has been performing very well this year. Every guy on that line's been able to get pressure, tackles in the backfield, a couple sacks between them. And assuming false start. And that's, I do not know what that penalty call is. I seriously do not know what the 2 hands on the chest means. You know, Aiden?
I think that was just a really bad delay of game call. I think that was just a really bad delay of game signal. Because usually delay games isn't an arm stacked on top of each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was doing that, but he just did it in a really weird way.
It looked like he put his hands on his chest. Like,
it looked like he was doing this. I think it just looks like he was touching his biceps and just, I don't know.
I don't know. It looked really weird from here. Did not look like delay of game, but I think that's what the call was. 3rd and 11. And that's going to be tried to be a quarterback keeper, but that one is stuffed. Tackle made by number 48, Elijah Frazier. And once again, the Pirates send out the punt team.
At what point do you just say, we're down so much we need to go for it?
You'll get to that. I mean, you're close to midfield, so you can try it. Don't know how successful it would be, but
well, yeah, it's definitely not. I don't think it'll be successful, but I think at some point they just have to try it.
And here's the punt. That one's definitely sent downfield this time. Caught. Spencer Ward makes a man. Actually, that's Rylan Michelle. The 8 and the 9 are a little hard to see from up here in the booth as he gets all the way into Branson territory. There'll be a day where I can distinguish 8 from 9. There'll be a day. But Rylan Michelle on the carry up to the 46. First and 10 for the Eagles. 8:23 left to go here in this first half. Eagles up big. Trying to make it 4 scores. Well, it'd still be 3 if you count 2-point conversions, but. Ryder, handoff, left side. He has a hole. It's a foot race. Cuts back up in the middle. 1 play, 1 score. And the Eagles offense doesn't stay on the field long. Off a 46-yard touchdown run from the senior Malachi Ryder. And I mean, it's just, what do you do to stop it at this point? There are the Dirty Birds getting hype as the Eagles right now blowing out the Pirates. We're not even at the end of the first half yet. Kemke lines up, and this one he sends through the uprights. 27-0. And this side of the stadium is silent. And you can tell from up here, you got one sideline happy, having fun, cracking jokes. And the other sideline quiet and just at a standstill.
Nixa run game is ridiculous, and we saw the pass game get a little light shine on it too with that Rylan Michelle deep ball from Nate Huber. But now Branson looking to get their offense going in some type of way. The light at the end of the tunnel is slowly fading away for this Branson Pirates team. If they want that light to stay, they need to put some points on the board quickly.
They're going to need some points, and they're going to need turnovers and stops. A lot of things need to go right for the Pirates. Kemke sends it away. A little bit of a lower kick, received at the 10 still. As that's fair on the return. Makes a man miss. The Parker man is on the tackle. Stopped right at the 25. And here come the Branson Pirates offense, and they really need to find something to do. Hey, what do you think this team needs to do to get back on offense?
Utilize that pass game. Like I mentioned, that they caught them off guard with that pass play, and they gained 20 yards off of it. I think if they continue doing that, keep them guessing, maybe go 2 run plays, a pass play, another run play, then 2 pass plays, just keeping them on their toes, making them guess their play calls. If they're going to guess, if they know it's going to be a running play every single time, they're going to run a blitz every single time. So you just have to be ready.
Especially with that man on the screen, Parker man. Quick pitch to the left side, trying to get away from him. And that was number 3, Daniel Giles on the carry. Number 10, Broden Mabe on the tackle. That's going to be a 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. And I mean, you can run the run game. I mean, if you're getting 4 yards, if you can repeat that type of yardage, keep running it. But eventually, Branson has to open up the pass game. Nixa hasn't had to too much because the run game's been going to perfection. But they still have been able to open the pass game, obviously, with that 40-yard bomb from Hubert and Michelle. McCormick keeps it. Pitch outright. Has some space on the right side of the field. That's number 2, Kyler Langston. And the only time he's been really getting the ball is off those motion pitches. Interesting play design. He comes from the left side. And it's a quick pitch outright.
Yeah, that pitch is like Carthage's jet sweep. I mean, it's not as efficient as Carthage's jet sweep was, but it's getting called as much as that jet sweep was for Carthage. I feel like it's every other play. Pitch is getting called.
And right there on your screen, number 13, brand new man to the starting 11 for the defense under Friday Night Lights, McCoy Sullivan. As right now, we had a handoff up the middle. Whistle's blown. Going to be a penalty on the play. Nope, timeout. Did not realize they got the timeout signal.
And with that timeout, I think it's time for us to send you down to the sideline for our sideline reporter, Taylor Dortilia.
I'm Taylor Dortilia, down here for week 4 of Nixa football. We're here at Branson Stadium. We're up by 27 right now. Been a great game. Our student section showed out. Something I noticed over the weeks is Nixa always brings out. We are bigger than everyone else. We always have the fans. Back up to you.
Thank you for that report, Taylor. 6:41 left to go. This 1st and 10. The Pirates need to get something going here. McCormick, handoff up the middle. That's Dupay. Dupay fighting, trying to get any yards he can. Gets 2, maybe 3. He might have fallen for it. And yep, they're going to give him 3, 2nd and 7. Nope, they're going to stay with 2. 2nd and 8. We're going to keep you updated on the actual down and yardage because I definitely know it's not 8th and 37th. So we'll keep you updated on those. Our score bug's been having some difficulties tonight. Handoff up the middle. Gets up to the 40. As that was once again number 11, Gage Dupay, on the carry.
This time in the 2nd quarter, we're going to take a look around the conference right now. Webb City versus Joplin, there's no update on that game yet, but we'll keep you updated if there is. Neosho at Republic. Neosho leads 7-0 in the 1st quarter. Willard at Ozark. Willard leads 7-0 in the 1st quarter. Carthage at Carl Junction. Carthage leads 19-7 in the 2nd.
Quarterback keeper McCormick fighting for the 1st down marker. Did he get it? Haven't got a signal from the ref yet. Looks like he's down at the 45. 1st down marker's at the 46. Are they going to measure, or are they just going to give it to him? And I think he's short. And yeah, he's short. 4th in inches.
You have to go for it. You have nothing to
You
lose
have
at this
to.
point. You're down 27 points in the 1st half. You have to go for this. I don't care if it was 4th and 40. I think they should go for it.
4th and 1,000. I'm going for it. McCormick under center. Handoff up the middle, and it goes nowhere. Did he fall for it? He was tackled in the backfield, but did he dive forward? It looked like that was Stop number 48, Elijah Frazier. They're going to measure it. Looks short from my view.
We see our first measure of the season. We don't think we've seen one all year. It's just staring at the ball. I don't think they can eye it, and they are going to measure it. Here comes the chain gang.
It looks short from my view, but we're not going to say anything right now. We're just going to see what happens here.
Wow, Ralph's going to get our way. See here.
And it looks short. It'll stay short.
First down, Nixa.
They make the stop. Number 48, the senior linebacker, Elijah Frazier, makes the stop on 4th down, turnover on downs. 5:03 left to go here in the first half. And the Nixa Eagles have a chance to go up 30 before the half's over.
I wonder if we're going to see some new offensive players here take the field here. We get some new guys some chances, maybe not.
This could be a night where, especially for Nixa, we see a bunch of guys come onto the field that we don't see often. A couple of JV guys might come onto the field. That won't happen until probably the second half. Perry's not going to let us foot off the gas pedal till he's comfortable with it. Especially after that Carthage game. Can't get too comfortable. As here comes the offense for the Nixa Eagles, as they're now led out by the second of 2 quarterbacks who get reps for this varsity Eagles team, number 17, Drew Blevins.
And Ryan, Nixa might outscore your prediction for them in the first half.
Yep, I realize that, Aiden.
And I think they might score. I mean, they could have scored mine if they got a quick turnover, but I had 41 in the game, and we're at 27 right now.
I completely forgot what I said.
You said 35, actually, so they'd have to go for 2. They would have to go for 2, and I don't think they're going to do that if they score a touchdown.
Handoff. This number 20, Kevon Lewis, another senior. Another guy that makes up this monstrous Nixa running back room, as he's going to get up to the 37. 37, I'm at 42. I can count. One thing I will say about number 20, Kevon Lewis, is that he is a guy who no one wants to tackle. A wrecking ball once he gets into the open space, and he's quick for his size. He's going to motion out. Look to go in a bubble as Blevins goes deep, looking for Vincent. Incomplete.
That was a beautiful ball, just a little over. That was the spiral in that. That's textbook. That was beautiful. Just a little overthrown. Wyatt Vincent.
And it's hard to overthrow Wyatt Vincent. He's a quick fella. But Drew Blevins puts it over his head by about a yard or 2. So it's going to be 3rd and 7. And I feel like if you're Coach Perry, especially since you're a team that's been running the ball a lot this year, this would be the perfect time to just let the pass plays air out. Handoff up the middle. Kevon Lewis, and he's going to get a yard. Tackle made by number 33, Brennan Pfeiffer, excuse me.
So this point of the field in high school football, it's like the no man's land. Like I feel like you're too close to punt it, but you're too far to kick it. That's just how I feel, and I think they are going to keep the offense on the field here because Nixa has nothing to lose at this point. But I think, I don't know.
Blevins in the shotgun. Maybe looked like they were trying to get him to jump, but Branson stays disciplined. And timeout called. Timeout called by John Perry and the Eagles. As we'll see if they're going to change it up, send the punt team out, or keep the offense out. 3:44 left to go here in the first half. The Eagles dominating the Branson Pirates on their home turf, 27-0. We'll be back after this short break, brought to you by Air Services Guaranteed. And welcome back. 4th and 6. Offense stays on the field. 2 out left. Lewis in the backfield. Play action. Blevins looks downfield for Vincent again, and it's caught. Touchdown Eagles. Wyatt Vincent in a one-on-one comes down with the ball. And look at this throw by Drew Blevins. Didn't get to see all of it because the replay was stopped. But a great play regardless. And the Eagles up 33-0.
What is happening?
Kemke lines up.
This is crazy. That was a beautiful pass by Drew Blevins. He had me in awe.
I love taking those shots. I almost blocked.
My jaw was on the ground up here. I was speechless. That was a beautiful throw, beautiful play call.
And Drew Blevins, not really a guy who we saw, especially last year when he was getting reps on JV, who threw the ball deep, but he is showing us this season, hey, I have an arm too. What a bomb to Wyatt Vincent. As both Nate and Drew have touchdown passes on the night.
I don't know what to say.
We have 5 scores from 4 different guys right now. Malachi's ran in 2, Dylan's ran in 1, Michelle got 1 deep ball from Huber, Wyatt got 1 from Drew. Nixa is scoring with every guy they have in their arsenal.
Yeah, they are definitely showing their weapons in this game right here.
This is right now a statement to Southwest Missouri.
And the COC. After that near comeback win for the Carthage Tigers, they want to put many points on the board.
And they're going to kick it to Fair again as the defensive back makes a man miss. Trying to turn on the wheels, but after that one big kickoff return, has not been able to really break past the 30. As he's going to be stopped at the 22, and with 3:27 left, Branson got the ball, so Nixa is going to get the ball to start the half. They need to score. I mean, right now you're just playing to try and get that donut off the board right now. 34-0 in the first half, definitely not currently in a spot to try and get back into a place where you can tie the game up. You're going to have to do a lot to do that, a lot of change adjustments you have in a halftime. But you just need to get something on the board if you're Branson.
Finally got an update on that Webb City Joplin game. 14-14 is not the final score, is the score right now. And Webb City has only scored on special teams. They scored on a fumble on a kickoff, and they scored on a botched punt. So 14-14 there. We're going to keep looking at that game. It's going to stay interesting, I bet.
I thought last year was wild from the 79-73 score from that Willard Neosho game. This year has been full of surprises. Hey, I'm all for it.
Love it.
It makes it way more entertaining. McCormick keeps it, but he's not going to get past the line. He's stopped and flag from the back judge.
Kevon Flint's going to get flagged for a personal foul on sportsmanlike conduct here. Number 81 for Branson. TJ Stormont getting blocked by Kevon Flint. Kevon Flint threw him down a little bit. His helmet flew. Words were exchanged, and I think Kevon Flint's going to get subbed out here and probably take an earful from Coach Perry.
Yeah, discipline's the one thing that they teach on this team. They do not want anything like that. Yep, face mask. That was definitely a face mask. The guy's helmet came off his head. 2:44 left, and who subbed in for him?
McCoy. Yeah, I didn't see the play at all.
Who happened in the secondary. Play was at the line, so I was definitely did not see the majority of it. I saw the aftermath. Man with his helmet off and 2 guys exchanging some words.
I thought face mask was only with someone with the ball. Wouldn't that be unsportsmanlike conduct?
Personal. It's just labeled under a personal foul because, well, we ripped the guy's helmet off. Going deep. Oh! And McCoy Sullivan almost got one for the highlight reel. Went for the one-hand snag. And that would have been a play, but
If he would have caught that, I would have lost it.
I think he would have been on the field for the rest of the game.
What about that for a debut? That would have been crazy.
A lot of things you can do right on your debut night. Getting a highlight reel interception would be one of them. 2nd and 10. Need to get to the 48 for a first. McCoy drops back. Looked like a screen pass as 3 guys came off the line. Flag on the play again.
After the whistle, so
Maybe the ref heard something he didn't like.
definitely a personal foul on someone.
Let's see.
Oh, ineligible man downfield.
That's really weird to call that after the play, but okay.
Maybe he saw it. He was like, all right.
Maybe he just was, maybe just late in seeing it. Maybe saw a lineman standing 6 yards off the ball and went, that's not right. I don't know. Whoa, what was?
Oh, he's declined. Obviously, he just didn't want to replay the rep down, I guess.
Yeah, 2:25. We're getting to the later parts of the first half. Lost it down, 3rd and 10. As the Pirates need to convert here. Handoff, drop back. McCormick rolling out right, being chased. He's not going to be able to get the first. Maybe gets 5 on the scramble. Going to be 4th down. It's going to be 4th down mark down to the 46. So it's going to be 4th and 6. And once again, the punter, number 88, T. Asbury, is going to come out to the field. And you know what? Someone better give him an ice pack or something in this game. Maybe give him a Snickers bar or something, because he is having to go to work tonight. Almost blocked.
I think he may have actually tipped it just a little bit.
I mean, the ball path still looked normal. The distance wasn't as far as his last one, but he got lucky on the roll. Gets all the way down to the 23. And you have 2 minutes. That's plenty of time if you're John Perry and the Nixa Eagles. Let's see what they go with here, because they have a lot of ways they can attack you. Let's see. It's like what quarterback is they going to come out with? What receiver set are they coming out with? What running back? You don't know what they're going to come out on the field with.
Huber, Flint, starting offensive line, Wyatt Vincent, Rylan Michelle. And Dak is doing Roberto, yeah.
We'll see if they even want to attempt a pass or if they just run the clock out. They do get the ball. Ooh, and the snap is mishandled, fumble, but it's picked up by Huber. And that's a loss of down. Clock still moves. Under 2 minutes. Ball's all the way back to the 14.
Heads up play there by Nate Huber. Everyone knows, well, everyone that's played football knows if there's a fumble in the backfield, you do not try to pick it up and run it for the quarterback. You just get on top of it, because if you get up, you're going to rush yourself, cause yourself to fumble again and let the defense get it. So great job there. Jump on top of it.
And play action, Huber, left side of the field. That one's caught. Vincent again. He's also going to get out of bounds. Stops the clock. Minute 29 left.
2-minute drill.
Yep. Playing hurry up. I was wondering if they're going to go take a tight end out and go more receivers in the field, but they're going to keep the same formation.
Have we seen a tight end take a reception all year?
I think there has to have been at least one.
I don't think I can think of one play where we had him take a
Huber
reception.
looks left, down the field for Michelle, and over the back shoulder. Would have been for sure a touchdown if they connected. Minute 24 left, and for the first time tonight, the punt team is coming on for the Eagles.
That's what you think. Just kidding.
I mean, there can always be a fake punt. It'd be definitely a very interesting move to call a fake punt at your own 25 when you're up 34 with a minute 27.
I don't think it'd be weird. I think it should be rude.
It'd just be disrespectful. Wyatt Vincent. I am shocked he carried it, and he stays
still up.
give credit to where credit's due for Zaire Fair.
Saved by the whistle. Parker Mann had him wrapped up, ready to be thrown down to the ground.
Look at this. And he stood up through all of that.
Whistle blown. Parker Mann was about to pick him up right here. He had his feet off the ground, ready to throw him. Parker Mann, a wrestler, so you know he can take someone down quickly.
He was about to turn to Friday Night SmackDown on the midfield.
Saved by the whistle there. But I'm impressed he stayed up. He ran into a brick wall of the Eagles. Helmets clashed. I think it was just friendly fire on the helmet sound. But he just ran into a brick wall, and impressed he stayed up. But I think, I don't even know.
Minute 13, that's time to get down the field, but the way Branson's been playing, I don't know if he'll be able to. Drop back McCormick. Antonelli in pursuit, roll out right, makes the throw, and that one's caught. Don't think he got out of bounds. I think the clock's still running. As that pass was completed, number 2, Kyler Langton. Clock still moving, under a minute. Pirates trying to get downfield. Great throw on the run by Luke McCormick. Under 50, they got to get a playoff. And you got 2 timeouts at your disposal if you're trying to get downfield. McCormick, once again, play action. Throw into the flat. That one's once again Kyler Langton. Not going to get as much this time, though, and there's the timeout. Called by Branson. 34.2 left to go here in the first half.
So every single game in the COC right now is close, except for this one. Carthage and Carl Junction 27-21. Carthage leads. Willard 7-0 still, but I think score's probably changed, not updated. 7-0. Willard leads that one, as reported, I should say. Neosho leads Republic 7-0 as reported as well. That's just as the first quarter. 14-14, Joplin and Webb City at half. And then Nixa 34-0 with 34 remaining in the second quarter.
You know, we came into this season thinking like we knew who the teams were going to be in the COC. We're competing for COC. Nixa being one of them, and then also I thought it was going to be Nixa Republic, Joplin getting thrown in that conversation.
Yeah, we all, 5 Nixa Live kids, we all sat in Burns' classroom yelling and screaming, arguing about who was going to win the COC. I think we were all wrong.
I don't think anyone can predict the way this conference is going. McCormick drops back, slips.
I'll say wrong. I think
and is sacked in the backfield.
In the rankings COC, yeah, I think everyone was wrong.
The rankings, yeah. If you got a rankings list through week 4 that is correct, and you predicted what the records were going to be, I need you to fill out my March Madness bracket.
Need to be signed by ESPN analysts right now.
I would love to see the work you do to predict that, because I would never have in the world had Carthage go 0-3 to start the season. Nor would I have Republic losing a game in the first 3. But here we are. They're Dirty Birds once again. Shown on screen, always travel in numbers. Could miss them for Neon Night. But as we said earlier in the game, first of 2 away games in this road trip. Next week, the Eagles are going to head, probably their biggest test so far of the year, and they're going to head to Joplin. That's going to be a fun one before having 2 at home. Right after, McCormick drops back, pocket collapses, throws downfield, overthrown. Was going for number 88, Tegan Asbury, but he doesn't get it. 4th and 9. $22.9 left to go. Punt team goes out. And I'd only assume since the Eagles get the ball, once they get the punt return, they're just going to take a knee. Unless Riley Michelle has plans of taking it to the house. And there's the kick. No fair catch called for. Michelle makes a man miss. 20, moving towards midfield. Gets to the 50. And then is wrapped up. Tackle at midfield. Top tackle made by number 61, Luke Trenzow. Sophomore offensive lineman. And with 9.7 left to go, I'd only assume that we just have a knee and go to the next half. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Huber takes the knee, and that's going to do it for first half of football. The Nixa Eagles come into Branson dominating the Pirates 34-0.
The Eagles scoring 5 touchdowns. 1 to Rylan Michelle, deep ball. 1 to Wyatt Vincent, deep ball. 2 from Malachi Ryder, and 1 from Dylan Ribera early in the game. And as our sideline reporter, Taylor Dortilia, is catching up with Coach Perry right now, we're going to sit it down.
I'm here with Coach Perry. Coach, we're up by...
It would be nice. Well, they've played really fast. We showed them a tape before the game of a VCR. Have you ever seen a VCR?
Yes.
You know how you put the VCR in fast forward and it goes like real fast? Like we were trying to play like a fast forward VCR, and I thought we did that.
What's your message going to be in that locker room?
Yeah, we did a great job of acting like a fast forward VCR, and let's go back out in the second half and do the same thing.
All right, thank you, Coach. Back to our halftime entertainment.
As educators, we know that movement is good for kids, but it's so much more than just getting the wiggles out. That movement piece truly, truly helps with their brain development. We were reading a study that shows, I think it's when they were having to learn a new concept, I think 36% of kids who did not have any movement while they were learning were able to recall what they were supposed to recall. Whereas when they incorporated movement into their learning, it went to 76% of kids. And so it really just helps solidify those concepts and vocabulary and different things like that.
We were being picked, the little penguin. He was scared of the water too. Because he thought there was sea monsters in there that could eat him up. His mom jumped in because she said that he was in there too long, but then she couldn't find him, so then she just went up and then he was on her belly. But I don't know how she got on her belly.
So we picked Pip the Penguin just because it's a fun and engaging story, but it's about a little penguin who is different than the rest of the penguins. He's really small and he is really nervous to swim, even though that's what all penguins do. And so he feels left out and he feels different, which is something that a lot of our kids experience and it's easy to relate to. And then he goes on and gets some encouragement from his family and his friends and goes ahead and learns how to swim. And by the end of it is the best little swimmer penguin out there.
I'm going to sound like a science nerd, but it is science. It's physiologically, there are so many reasons why movement is so important, why it helps with learning and helping kids retain things. So for one, it increases oxygen to the brain, but also when you are associating movements, you're also increasing brain synapses and you learn with all these different senses, with all these different things.
Any kind of strategy that we can give them to help them comprehend what they're reading and make reading fun. You know, from the beginning, that's our #1 goal when they come to us in kindergarten and first grade, you know, especially that we want them to just see how fun reading can be so that they find the books that they're interested in, the genres, and when we do things like that with movement, they do see, you know, firsthand and the hands-on type of activities with the reading of just how much fun it can be. Spark that love for reading early on.
As educators, we know that movement is good for They were having to learn a new concept. I think 36% of kids who did not have any movement while they were learning were able to recall what they were supposed to recall, whereas when they incorporated movement into their learning, it went to 76% of kids. And so it really just helps solidify those concepts and vocabulary and different things like that.
We were being picked, the little penguin. He was scared of the water too, because he thought there was sea monsters in there that could eat him up. His mom jumped in because she said that he was in there too long, but then she couldn't find him, so then she just went up and then he was on her belly. But I don't know how she got on her belly.
So we picked Pip the penguin just because it's a fun and engaging story, but it's about a little penguin who is different than the rest of the penguins. He's really small and he is really nervous to swim, even though that's what all penguins do. And so he feels left out and he feels different, which is something that a lot of our kids experience and it's easy to relate to. And then he goes on and gets some encouragement from his family and his friends and goes ahead and learns how to swim. And by the end of it is the best little swimmer penguin out there.
I'm going to sound like a science nerd, but it is science. It's physiologically, there are so many reasons why movement is so important, why it helps with learning and helping kids retain things. So for one, it increases oxygen to the brain, but also when you are associating movements, you're also increasing brain synapses and you learn with all these different senses, with all these different things.
Any kind of strategy that we can give them to help them comprehend what they're reading and make reading fun. You know, from the beginning, that's our #1 goal when they come to us in kindergarten and first grade, you know, especially that we want them to just see how fun reading can be so that they can find the books that they're interested in, the genres, and when we do things like that with movement, they do see, you know, firsthand and the hands-on type of activities with the reading of just how much fun it can be. Spark that love for reading early on.
As educators, we know that movement is good for kids, but it's so much more than just getting the wiggles out. That movement piece truly, truly helps with their brain development. We were reading a study that shows, I think it's when they were having to learn a new concept, I think 36% of kids who did not have any movement while they were learning were able to recall what they were supposed to recall. Whereas when they incorporated movement into their learning, it went to 76% of kids. And so it really just helps solidify those concepts and vocabulary and different things like that.
We were being picked, the little penguin. He was scared of the water too, because he thought there was sea monsters in there that could eat him up. His mom jumped in because she said that he was in there too long, but then she couldn't find him, so then she just went up and then he was on her belly. But I don't know how she got on her belly.
So we picked Pip the penguin just because it's a fun and engaging story, but it's about a little penguin who is different than the rest of the penguins. He's really small and he is really nervous to swim, even though that's what all penguins do. And so he feels left out and he feels different, which is something that a lot of our kids experience and it's easy to relate to. And then he goes on and gets some encouragement from his family and his friends and goes ahead and learns how to swim. And by the end of it is the best little swimmer penguin out there.
I'm going to sound like a science nerd, but it is science. It's physiologically, there are so many reasons why movement is so important, why it helps with learning and helping kids retain things. So for one, it increases oxygen to the brain, but also when you are associating movements, you're also increasing brain synapses and you learn with all these different senses, with all these different things.
Any kind of strategy that we can give them to help them comprehend what they're reading and make reading fun. You know, from the beginning, that's our #1 goal when they come to us in kindergarten and first grade, you know, especially that we want them to just see how fun reading can be so that they can find the books that they're interested in, the genres, and when we do things like that with movement, they do see, you know, firsthand and the hands-on type of activities with the reading of just how much fun it can be. Spark that love for reading early on.
As educators, we know that movement is good for kids, but it's so much more than just getting the wiggles out. That movement piece truly, truly helps with their brain development. We were reading a study that shows, I think it's when they were having to learn a new concept, I think 36% of kids who did not have.
It was a brand new concept to start with paper airplanes. We wanted to find a way to engage the kids and get them excited about science. Teach them a little bit about the scientific process, but mostly just get them to buy in and get excited about learning about science. The first day there was definitely some hesitation about why are we building paper airplanes? And them having to work in teams was also a struggle for many of them. But as we continued to revise our plan and rebuild and make improvements, they got so excited, and by the end everybody was cheering for everyone, and it was a great team building exercise as well.
The first step, you're supposed to come up with a design for your paper airplane and talk to your group about what you want to build and how to build it. The second step is you go ahead and build your design. We tried to make our paper airplane, the nose, which is the front of the airplane, like as pointy so it'd go through the air better, and we made it pretty pointy, so we called our airplane needle nose.
We get to fold the paper airplanes, and it's fun because we get to see who can throw the farthest and how the designs work and stuff. You learn something out of it, and it's also a fun activity.
Like when you're diving into the water and you put your hands out, it kind of like parts the water for you. And so if you make like the nose sharp like that, then it'll like cut through the air better.
Yeah, I mean, with it, like, it's kind of like the smaller it is, it glides more through the air. I like science. It was fun.
I very much see that this is a year-to-year thing. The kids enjoyed it so much, and they're still talking about it, and I've had kids come back after a long weekend with research different ideas to build more planes. I think we will definitely make some tweaks to continue to just get kids more excited and branch in some different topics from throughout the year, but I think it was a success. And it's also so cool in activities like this to see students that maybe don't succeed in written activities or don't succeed in your more traditional education realms, but a hands-on activity like building airplanes, they're so excited about. And that's cool to see that side of them, especially so early on.
Hopefully that this resonates with them, that we can be a powerful force, and what amazing things that we can do together out of love and compassion for building just that camaraderie within our own area and community.
I really like being outside in nature, and so I like doing field trips like this, especially in the summer. I garden with my mom a lot, and so I kind of know like a little bit about the plants and, you know, what you need to know about the soil and stuff.
I was asked today, where are we going? And I was like, I don't know. And so we kind of pulled up, and it was just like, wow, this is here, right here, literally in our backyard. And this is just one of many of the community gardens that Springfield has to offer. And so what a great resource that we have here.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's nice weather. We get to do activities a lot. Getting to like know how they give back to the community on what they do.
They've already cleared out 3 lanes so quickly, working so hard with smiles on their faces and great attitudes, and so this has just been a profound experience. So hopefully they take back with them today not only the experience, but just that love of being able to help other people in the community.
They wanted to interact with people, and they wanted to know how could they volunteer in different places. I honestly thought they were going to pick one of the animal shelters, but no, they wanted to come here and interact with seniors, and I'm very proud of them.
It's really cool because we get to see all the people and the artwork and like outside in the wall, what used to be here. Learn about how they do stuff here. We could learn how to help like other people in the seniors.
I think it's pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of elderly people, like more than I thought there would be, and it seems like they're all getting along. So probably talking with all the elderly people and just like doing stuff with them and like asking them questions. And like there was some lady here that apparently she had an identical twin, so that we found out.
Well, I think it was important because yes, the focus is on them at school, and we love them and we care about them. The focus is definitely on them. It's time for them to start thinking about others and looking outward instead of inward. So I think this is a perfect way to get their feet wet. They know now that they can come here with a parent and volunteer and interact and do things with seniors. So I think that was very important for them to know.
This is about, let's see how we can help make you successful. Start your first day of school and be prepared. The student's only job at that point is to focus on learning. You don't have to worry about shoes or backpacks or anything else.
Yeah, it's been really awesome, been super helpful. They're super excited to get new backpacks every year, new shoes because they wear them out really throughout the year, and just helpful with the school supplies. I feel like the inflation has been so crazy this year, so it's been really a blessing, honestly, for our family. Yeah. I think the shoes are pretty awesome. They're excited about their trims and haircuts too. You know, that's important for the girls, helping them feel fresh.
When I got my new shoes, my teacher I got this year was my helper. They're gray and like a peaches pink. I got to pick out a new backpack. It was rainbow and it was purple. My backpack was tie-dye. I like my haircut.
We have no idea the pressures, the constraints that are on families as they come in. We have no idea what they're going through. And so this is just an opportunity for us to partner with them and lighten that load a little bit. So for everyone, it's not exciting to go back to school because they don't know how they're going to be able to supply the things that they need. This is just a chance for us to do that and make those smiling faces. So we've got about 60 volunteers here today serving. And then we also have hundreds of volunteers behind the scenes that have been bringing headphones and folders for several weeks. This is something that we look forward to every single year. It's one of the greatest events that we do. We love to partner with Nixa Public Schools.
I was just amazed that you guys have the hair cutting for the kids. My last group that I went to help them go through, they needed their haircuts, and so it was so neat to watch them get their haircuts and so happy. And then one of the little boys, he was so excited about getting a new pair of shoes. And he kept saying, "These are Army shoes, these are Army shoes." And he was running around and making sure it fits right. And so that was so neat to see that.
It can be emotional as a volunteer, seeing the emotions that come through on the families and the students that you are helping to get ready on the first day of school, helping them try on maybe their first new pair of shoes ever, or making sure that they get to pick out the school supplies that they want. They get to pick out their backpack, they pick out their headphones. So it's really empowering for the students, making sure that they have a say-so in some of the things that they can have to get ready for that first day.
We've done various donations. This will be the first year we've actually participated with the bottles and the cups and the pens and the snacks and things like that. We're the only Walmart in town, and several communities have several Walmarts, and I think it's important to show that we're part of the community. A lot of our employees, a lot of our associates that work for us and things like that have children that go to Nixa, and we want to show that we can give back into the community.
Our team gets a lot of kudos for being able to make this event happen and take care of our families, but it's not us. It's a group effort. It's all the churches. It's North Point. It's Cox Health showing up. It's Abundant Blessings. It's all of these organizations coming together along with 120 some odd volunteers showing up day of helping those families get through the event. So it's pretty amazing. I feel like every year I say, I can't believe we had this much support. And every year Nixa tops it.
I am really excited to have kids back in the building because I love the noise of having them here.
Hi, and welcome to Intermediate.
We are super excited. We have lots of new fifth graders and lots of new teachers this year, and so we are trying to just get everyone settled in this morning, but we are ready for an amazing day.
Hi, Riley.
So our building theme for this year is actually Peace, Love, Inman, and so our goal is to really help students influence their peers in a positive way. So we even hashtagged ourselves as #Inman Influencers. And so we just really want kids to positively impact one another and welcome each other into school each and every day.
4th grade girl here and a 6th grade girl at Summit. So it's our last year here and our last year here. I'm never ready for summer to end, but they love school, so it's good. I just think it's going to be a great year. New teachers, new friends. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year.
So I brought some residents from Castlewood Senior Living. We are just welcoming the new students for the new school year, cheering them on as they leave school for the day, just to encourage them. We passed out some notes of encouragement. The cards say "You Matter" on it, so we're just spreading the message of kindness and encouragement to the students this year, hoping that they have a good year.
I loved them so much. Like, there's just something about old people that just like brings me joy. It's just, and then with like the "You Matter," it's amazing.
Well, it's like definitely you see it and you're like, you matter.
You feel warmth. Like
you're like
I do matter.
Care about me.
Yeah.
They say "You Matter" on the front, and then on the back there's a note of encouragement. So it'll say, "You can do it," or "You got this. Don't worry about perfection."
I think one of the best ways to connect our parents to the building is to get them in the building. So we're really excited for some new opportunities for parents to welcome them to the building and come to activities throughout the school day as well as in the evening. I just want to thank everyone for just welcoming me to Nixa and to Inman. I'm so excited for an amazing school year.
Yeah, go Eagles!
It was our 10th annual, and I think it was our best one, without a doubt.
Good job!
We had so many great volunteers there. Our student athletes showed up in force. The kids had a great time. The weather was fantastic. I don't think we could have asked for a better night.
It's really exciting. We get to get them out of their element and out of their normal routine and get them around a lot of other kids and other people that they'll see later on down the line in school, and they have a lot of fun doing it. They are very excited to knock over the football player, and just be on the field is a really exciting part for us too. And to be able to do it with the big kids is a pretty big deal too.
It's their night to shine, and we make sure that they get to have that opportunity in front of all their friends and in a stadium with people announcing. How exciting is that? Nothing cooler than seeing 8 parachutes out there on the field at one time. Just kids having fun together. The idea came from Willard, actually, 10 years ago, and at that point I was the athletic director, and so we had taken a group of student athletes and some coaches over to watch Willard's event and brought back things that we learned from that and made it our own. We've just continued to grow it and add new things to it every year. It's been a fun 10 years of this. We'll keep it going, I promise.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I look forward to this event. I haven't been able to participate in the last couple of years, and so to come back this year and just see the joy that it brings our kids, and not only our students that participated as athletes, but our high school athletes, getting to engage with them and just to see that collaboration and the fun that comes from that is just something that you can't put into words.
Yeah, it was really fun. I think it was actually probably better than what I expected. Like, it gives them something to look up to. It just inspires them, Sometimes they can't do what we can do, and it just gives them a night that we dedicate to them so that they can have fun, something to remember.
That's the group we can't do it without, for sure. And so between our teachers, our paraprofessionals, there were nurses, there were bus drivers, there were representatives from CC Links, all of our student athletes, there were general education teachers. Like, this is an event for everybody. And so if you haven't been and you haven't volunteered before, we just really encourage you to be a part of our next one.
And welcome back to Branson, Missouri. Time for the start of the second half. The Nixa Eagles lead by a whopping 34 points. Branson trying to come in this half, maybe trying to get that donut off the board. Branson Pirates receive the ball to start the game, so Nixa gets the ball to start the second half. Returners are starting in the end zone as kickoff is away. Flag on the play.
What a kick, though. That was beautiful.
Beautiful kick indeed. False start on the Pirates.
This ref definitely has the most interesting ref signals I've seen. That delayed game looked like, I don't even know. That false start was... It's the student section.
Well, at least this time, the Eagles will be able to return the ball because the ball is going to be placed 5 yards back.
Student section giving the Branson team an earful. I think they're probably not the only person giving the team an earful right now.
No, they're not, but the Dirty Birds like to get a little chirpy every once in a while. Trying to make sure the Branson student section can hear them. Here's the kick. It is off, and what a kick. That might...
The bounce. Oh, barely went over the pylon.
Barely.
Well, Justin Jefferson and Thursday Night Football.
That cost me 10 points on my fantasy team. I was not happy with that.
You see, in my league, it didn't subtract the points from Justin Jefferson. I'm playing Justin Jefferson this week. It didn't subtract the points off them. Wasn't really happy about that, but hopefully our team can work through it. Wasn't a great performance last week.
Well, I got 34 from him regardless, but if those points count, not only is it 10 points off the touchdown, but there's 2 added to that because the fumble doesn't get taken off. So my 34 gets turned to like 46.
As Nate Huber and Alakai Ryder take the field. Wyatt Vincent, Adam McKnight, Rylan Michelle out there too. Miltberger in motion.
Takes the snap. Handoff, Ryder. Left side. Doesn't get a lot. Back to the line. It looks like they didn't even get a yard. Tackle made by Gage Dupay. Sets up 2nd and 10. Huber in the backfield. In the shotgun. Ryder on his right. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper.
Oh.
You don't want your quarterback taking big hits.
I thought he was going to spin out of that one.
I really think he did too. When I saw him coming in lower in the shoulder, I got scared, but able to spin out of it for a little bit and get some yards. Gets 4, 3rd and 6.
Third and 6 here.
Trips out right. Try to get him to jump. A little twitch from the line. Doesn't cross the line though. It's gonna. Clock's gonna tick. We got 6 on the play clock. Huber needs to hike the ball. 2, 1. Yep, I was waiting for it. Delay a game.
See what it is. Let's see if it was right. Boom.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't. That's weird.
Knew it. I was like, I know there's not a referee signal with that, so.
I didn't think there was.
Replay. Definitely not it.
Goes back to 3rd and 11. The Eagles can risk going 3 and out to start the drive, start their half.
I want to see Adam McKnight target. I want to see one.
Vincent moving out left. McKnight and Michelle out on the right side of the field with Ryder in the backfield. Huber in the shotgun. Drops back. He's looking. Right side, that one's caught by Michelle. Stays in bounds, makes a man miss, and has open field ahead of him. McKnight with a block. It's a foot race, and it's caught. Number 9, Marshall Storm, able to save it. But what a gain from Rylan Michelle.
What a beautiful cut. Can we get a replay on that? I just want to talk about his move near that 30-yard line.
Rylan Michelle looked like hobbled off a little bit up on that.
Look at that cut. Can we take it back just a little bit? I can't. God, our replay thing was broken. But just what a cut back, and what a move by Rylan Michelle to turn a first down reception into a
Pruitt in motion.
40-yard reception.
Drops back. Michelle gets it again. This one caught a little bit behind the line of scrimmage, tries to move up and gets 2. And right there, be careful because it looked like right there, number 87, Lane Meltenbarger, the tight end, had a seam route. I haven't yet targeted that route, I don't think, all year. I haven't seen them run that play all too much, but might get something open out of that. And I like opening up the pass game a bit. You're up this much. And this time, Ryder just dragging a guy with him, but number 33 for the Pirates. That's going to be made by the junior linebacker and running back, Brennan Pfeiffer. Makes the tackle. 3rd and 8. Inside the red zone. Ball's on the 15, 3rd and 8. 8:56 left to go. Packed tight, close together. Only one receiver out. And timeout. Don't think there was a little bit of miscommunication out on the line, and that's one thing that when I spoke with John Perry throughout the week that he wanted to fix, and that was pre-snap penalties and miscommunication. So that was the thing that has hurt this team the most. Hasn't been on display that much so far than that the delay game we saw on this drive, but that whole first half they looked great. Perry just trying to take a moment to rally the troops as we'll kick it over to Aiden as we check over another games around the conference.
First game we'll look at is Webb City at Joplin. Webb City leads Joplin 17-14 in the 3rd quarter. Republic leads Neosho. Neosho had that 7-0 lead on this for a while, and then Republic 42 unanswered, 42-7 is the score there. Then we're going to take a look at Willard and Ozark. That game is close, 25-14 at half. And we're going to look at
who's leading that game, Willard?
Yes, Willard is leading that game, sorry.
I have to take a quick pause in this one as the ball is snapped. Huber over the middle, caught. And what did I say? Lane Meltenbarger might get a play over the middle, and it's just a simple post route. But Lane Meltenbarger is in the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles.
I talked about this earlier in the game. I said, I don't think we've seen a reception from a tight end all year. And we said, maybe not. I talked to Dylan Rivera before the game because I just realized that we really haven't used our tight ends in the receiving game, only in the blocking game. And Lane Meltenbarger put 6 on the board here as that extra point is good. Makes it 41-0 here in Branson.
With 8:41 left to go here in the 3rd. Kemke knocks it down, and now it is just a blowout.
Now we're going to look at Carthage and Carl Junction. Carthage leads 27-21 at half. We'll keep our eyes on that game, just like we were going to keep our eyes on every game right now.
And right now it is so far looking good for the picks. What are you, 12-3? I'm 11-4, I think, as the records.
So,
are we gonna are we putting something on the line or something, or is this just for fun?
Bragging rights, I guess.
Just bragging rights, okay.
There's nothing to brag on because by the time the season's over, I can't even brag on stream about it. So, you'll hear about it if I win in Nixa Live for sure.
That's gonna be fun. Got to add that to pregame shows with Brady Reedtone. Oh, that's gonna be fun. For basketball, doing picks around the conference in the district. It takes that long to hit the football ones. Imagine doing it for basketball every game.
Yeah.
Kemke lines up to send this one away. Deep. And that one's muffed. Almost went out of bounds. This one's received by number 25 for the Pirates as he spins out. He keeps going. That's Hunter Reynolds. And he's going to, with all that effort, only get to the 19 as this Branson Pirates offense has come out into the field. And they have been struggling. Haven't really been able to get anything going. They've had a couple of bright spots, especially they've had a couple of long passes downfield. But the Branson Pirates offense has overall got nothing, especially with that donut still on the scoreboard, trying to get it off. And Nixa, a team who had a couple of shutouts last season, looking for their first one of the year. As we're going to see 5 on the line, Antonelli and Mann on the outside of it. Motion, handoff up the, nope, it's going to be a pitch. And what an open field tackle right there. Who else but number 9, Spencer Ward. And that's one thing he does so well. What an open field tackle. And those can make or break very, very long gains down the field if you can make a good open field tackle. And Spencer Ward, not only was it a great open field tackle, but a tackle for loss. Loss of 2 to be exact. 2nd and 12. Ball is on the 17. Now Luke McCormick back under center. 7:15 left to go. Motion. Handoff. Up the middle. Nope, it's a keeper. Dupay acting as a shield. And Luke McCormick's able to get a couple of yards in the play, but nothing great. Not a first down. Almost said nothing crazy. Not realizing for a quick minute of about a 9-yard gain. Third and 3 at the 26. 6:40 left to go here in the third. Branson still have yet to win a home game this year. Lost their first one at home. Motion, left side. Quarterback keeper, doesn't pitch it. And got out of the way as Spencer Ward came in with a head full of steam. Trying to run through Luke McCormick. But he's able to get the first down up to the 31. Pirates get a first. But right now, still just trying to string a couple of good plays together.
So water break timeout, possibly.
I'm assuming they didn't point either direction. Both teams on the board still have all their timeouts. Besides, I mean, Nixa has 2. All timeouts are accounted for. So yes, we're going to be going to a water break with 6:04 left to go here in the third quarter. The Nixa Eagles, number 5 team in Class 6, lead 41-0 over the Branson Pirates. And we might as well take a moment to look ahead in the schedule as next week Nixa goes on their second road game in a row to take on the other Eagles, the Battle of the Birds. They head out to try and finish off the 3-headed monster out west as they'll take on currently the only other undefeated team in the conference, the Joplin Eagles. While the Branson Pirates are going to hit the road as they're going to go play the Carl Junction Bulldogs next week. 31-yard line, 5:57 left to go here in the third quarter. Quarterback keeper tried to pitch it, but there was nowhere to pitch it to as he is thrown to the ground. So we're going to see on the replay here. Never mind, having some technical difficulties, looks like. As he barely had time to get his head up to try and make the pitch, McCormick, before he was swallowed up in the backfield by multiple Nixa Eagle defenders. Almost 5 minutes left to go as, if I'm not mistaken actually, we're over 40, so I think it's a turbo clock now, I'm not too sure. McCormick drops back, pocket collapse, and an absolute dart of a throw complete at the 40-yard line. That's number 88, Tegan Asbury, as he's been doing a lot for this team. Has had most of the receiving work and also been the punter for this team, sending the ball downfield. He's been busy tonight as we are now under 5 minutes here in the third. It's going to be third and short. Only need a yard. We'll see what they do here. Talking it over with their offensive coordinator on the sideline. Actually, that'll be Hefner. Dupay's up here in the booth as McCormick's going to keep it, and he's going to fall forward for the first. It looked like he got it. Ref spotting him just ahead of the 41.
Right where we're at.
quite literally perfectly where we're at, and they're going to wave him on. That's going to be a first down for the Branson Pirates. 4:17 left to go. And
First and 10 here. Ball's on the 41. Pirates looking to put their first points of the game on the board here.
trying to get that donut off. Handoff to Pay. Gets nowhere, maybe half a yard.
That's not how you do it if you're trying to.
Definitely not. I mean,
and they go back to that pass game. They have not used their pass game at all. In that one play that they really did use it, it was a 20-yard reception. I don't really understand why Pay's not using it a little bit more, because I don't think this defense is ready for a pass. I think they're.
And like, also look at it this way. What do you have to lose? You're down 41-0.
Throw a ball 40 yards just for fun.
Take a big shot. I mean, the furthest guy down the field is just barely past the 50. The furthest guy, there's a flag on the play. This is going to be a handoff. It's going to be a really good gain from the quarterback, Luke McCormick, but flag in the backfield from the white cap. I'm assuming it's going to be a holding. It's going to be an offensive penalty for sure. I don't know what that penalty call is. Aiden? I know you didn't see it. What's this?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest.
I don't know what the signal he made was, but
get the scores.
Penalty on Branson. Going to be a 5-yard penalty. Second and 14, excuse me. Ball's going to be now spotted at the 37, 3:07 left to go. Here is Branson.
Shift.
Is it an illegal shift?
I thought it was illegal something. I thought it was illegal motion or something like that, which I think is.
I've never seen this as the illegal shift sign, though. Learning all types of new things tonight.
I love you, white hat, but.
Handoff up the middle. Big gain up the middle. Past midfield. And DePay on a 2nd and 15, able to move the chains, and the Pirates get a first down. That was needed for this team. Maybe a morale booster. Not like there's much any right now on the sideline, because it's never fun to get blown out 41-0. Trying to get that 0 off the board. 2:25 left in the third. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles, after this quarter, send out the JV squad. As unless things drastically happen, the Eagles are sitting pretty for the rest of this game. It's good to know that that's a delay game now, so I'm not sitting here questioning how much I know about ref calls. And I know they call it on like the speakers and stuff, but normally we're talking when they call it, so I never hear it. 1st and 15 from the 47. We are now hitting 2 minutes left to go in the third. We are on turbo clock. Handoff up the middle to Pay. Try to bounce off his blockers, but goes nowhere. That one's going to be stopped half a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Michael Henniger on the play. Really one of the breakout stars for this Eagles team. He's had a couple of sacks on the year, a bunch of tackles in the backfield for losses. And he adds another one to his total. Definitely, especially compared to the other side of the defensive line with Jade Antonelli, the Army commit, on the other end. Definitely a smaller DN compared to him, but he's able to get it done on that left side. McCormick roll out right, being pursued on the run, makes the play, first down and more. Up to the 31. And that pass completes number 88, Tegan Asbury. Once again, like we said earlier, getting the large majority of this Branson Pirates receiving work. Add some more yards on his total, as we're now under 45 seconds. We'll definitely be able to get one play off. Don't think they'll be able to get two. We get 10 seconds on the play clock. with 30 seconds left to go here in the quarter. Roll up, backed up once again. Pursuit. McCormick's just going to tuck it and keep it. And he's going to get a first up to the 19. So the Pirates moving down the field. 17 left to go. Maybe she's trying to get another play off. I doubt they will, as they're still looking on the sideline for the plays. We're at 9 seconds. We'll see if they call a play here. And no, they are not. Yep, already walking over. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. The Eagles still lead 41-0.
And it's time for us to take a look at our crew for tonight. First person we're going to talk about is our director, Dalton Herring, the junior. One behind the TriCaster. We also have Jack Edwards on our wide shot, Jackie Coos on our tight shot, Deacon Brown on wireless field camera, Henley Dugan and Connor Newth join him on the wireless as well. Riley Rosati sits at graphics specialist.
The man in the chair.
Jameson Truitt, replay operator. And you've heard from her a couple times tonight. Taylor Dortilia, our sideline reporter. Great crew tonight, guys. And, of course, not on here, Jordan Burns does it all.
The man who is the only reason this broadcast ever runs functionally. Because without him, all this would be is a bunch of wires and a radio broadcast, if that. Thank you to everyone who works on the crew. And if you're just joining in, start of the fourth quarter. I'm Ryan Swanson alongside my partner, Aiden Hopkins. 12 more minutes left of play here in this game, and the Dirty Birds enjoying Sweet Caroline on the other side of the field, as there's a lot to be excited about. Handoff up the middle. Dupay got some yards before he was steamrolled by none other than Spencer Ward. And looking at this, turbo clock's on. I don't really, unless something really drastic were going to happen, this game's just about over. Branson trying to get that donut off the board. They're inside the red zone. This is probably going to be one of their only chances left in this game.
And this part of the game, time to vote for player of the game on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. You're going to head to my Twitter, Aiden Hopkins _ AIDEN HOPKINS. You're also underscore, and then you're also going to follow Ryan Swanson, RYNESWANSON 23.
All undercase.
So we're going to, and once again for mine, it's AIDEN HOPKINS _ vote for player of the game. Really good options today.
We should have a lower third pop up. If we don't,
should have a graphic for it.
Hopefully. Roll out right. McCormick. He's made a lot of his plays on the run, but he doesn't get to this time, as the Nixa live man himself, Parker Man, makes the sack in the backfield. Unfortunately, it's not a home game, so you can't say your favorite saying in the world, but it's going to be 4th and a mile for the Pirates. The first down marker's on the 9. Ball spotted at the 26. And they're going to send their kicker out. It's going to be number 35, Dane Effred. Missed from about the 30, from about 40 earlier, and that kick, ladies and gentlemen, is good. The Branson Pirates get their first points of the night off a field goal, and that ball is from the 26, so that's where the ball is high. That's about close to a 40-yard field goal.
It was a 42-yard field goal for him.
And now this Branson student section has something to cheer about. Chanting USA, it's USA night for them. 9:55 left to go here in regulation. Once again, I'd like to take a moment to look ahead in the schedule. As we already said earlier, we have the Eagles going on the road once again to take on Joplin. But also right after that, they're going to have 2 home games in a row, and they're going to be taking on Carl Junction on the 29th, and then they'll be taking Willard on the 5th. That's going to be, I'm pretty sure that's homecoming if I'm not mistaken. This homecoming Thursday night will be homecoming night. And then their last 2 games of the season, their last home game or away game after next week is going to be at Republic on the 13th. And then they finish the season off at home for the backyard brawl against Ozark on the 20th. We'll get the Branson schedule in a minute. As right now, kick's about to be sent away for the Pirates as the last time almost went in the end zone. This one's sent, and it might get there. Yep, end zone touchback. That's going to put the Eagles on the 25. And for the Pirates, on the 22nd, they're going to head to Carl Junction, the 29th. Starts first of 2 back-to-back home games. They'll take on Neosho on September 29th, and on the 6th of October, they'll play Republic. 13th, going to be on the road against Ozark, and they'll finish their season off on the 20th at home against the Cardinals from Webb City. That's the upcoming schedule for both teams. Here you can see it on the graphic. As it's pretty safe to say that a team's not going to get 38 points back in a 10-minute segment, so Eagles trying to at least close it out for sure.
As you saw on the screen, Aiden Hopkins _ vote for player of the game. And also follow Ryan Swanson, Aiden Hopkins _ vote for player of the game. It's a student section. Giving Branson student section an earful.
Yes, they are. A lot to be excited about for Nixa fans. About to move to 4-0 on the year. And I think the closer you get to that game, how many people are going to have the memories of last year's game against Republic in their minds? I know that's a game on the schedule that the man himself, John Perry, has had circled for a while. That's going to be a fun one. That's the game I'm most looking forward to this year.
I think everyone in Nixa has that game circled on their calendars.
I do. We're going to go to Retmo. I will say, in terms of other team stadiums, this is my favorite, Branson, for the view that you get. Senior here is great, but in terms of environment, Republic does a very good job.
And Branson people are so nice. Like, we got here. I was like, you guys need anything? Water? We asked for water. He gave back with sodas and waters. It's a big break there.
It's going to be a flag on the play, even though that was caught by number 80. That's going to be Baron Johnson. It's going to be the junior receiver. It's going to be a penalty on. Thrown by the line judge right by the play, so I'm assuming it's going to be a holding or a block in the back, one of the two. We'll see what the white cap says. Holding. It's going to be on the Eagles. Sets him back. 8:29 left to go here in the 4th. 3rd and 6 for the Nixa Eagles. Drew Blevins is the one under center right now. Kevon Lewis in the backfield. It's going to be number 80, Baron Johnson, out on the left side. It's a little bit hard to see out here. Out right. Looks like a single-digit number. I'm trying. I'll figure it out in a minute. Wyatt Vincent. There it is. Thank you to the field cam out there. As Blevins drops back on the run. Almost had a deep ball on the run downfield in double coverage, but the ball is thrown out of bounds. Intended for Wyatt Vincent, as that's going to set up 4th down for the Eagles, 4th and 13. They're going to send it off to the Pirates offense, maybe trying to get a touchdown. They got the donut off the board, no shutout. But still no touchdowns for the Branson Pirates.
My final score guess was 41-7. So
it'd be really awkward. I don't know how you need 2 safeties.
2 safeties, I believe.
He needs 2 safeties. You need a really good bounce here.
What is he doing?
It might have bounced off. I think it bounced off one of the player's feet. That's what he thought. It looked awfully close. I don't think it did, but it looked like it bounced off one of the Branson player's cleats. So that's why he jumped on top of the football. As Nixa are going to stay with their ones out. So their defense stays out in the field. With 7:30 left to go here in the fourth. Quick reminder, if you haven't been caught up to this yet, we are now doing pregame shows that start at 6:30. Game starts at 7, so right before you tune in for the game, make sure you tune in a little bit earlier to watch the pregame show where me and Aiden go over both teams throughout their seasons. Segment inside the film room where we take a look at plays from both teams that you might see in the game, and for COC picks, where me and Aiden take a look around the conference. We pick our winners for each game. Currently, Aiden's winning. He's 12-3. I'm 11-4. But so far, last time we had updates on the scores, all of our picks are right because both of us picked the same teams the whole week. So as long as all the teams win, our records will still be one game apart. And the Dirty Birds with the "This is our house" chant across the field with 6:30 left. Keeper up the middle as McCormick gets up to the line, making a 4th and 1. Or 3rd and 1. I can't count down. It's 3rd and 1, excuse me. It's been a long night. Can I just say yesterday was the most Friday feeling Thursday I think I've ever experienced? Was that just me?
Just wait till we can play Willard on a Thursday. You're gonna be like, oh yes, the weekend. Nope. You got school tomorrow.
Oh, that's gonna be awful. It'll be homecoming, guys. They're gonna get the first on the sneak there. At least homecoming that night's gonna be nice. Gonna get the first down here on the 3rd and 1. And I think they called water break because both teams go to the sideline. There was no signal for a timeout. So we have a water break. 5:43 left to go. Here in regulation, 41-3 your score. The Eagles, they scored early and have not taken their foot off the gas pedal all night, as they have walked into Pirate Stadium and have shown who is the better team. Number 5 in Class 6 in the state of Missouri. A team who, for the last couple seasons, has been eyeing a state championship. That has been the goal for this team. Made it all the way to the district championships last year. Trying to recreate that performance and get further. And just trying to add on to their undefeated season, trying to go undefeated regular season. Quick pass out right is caught. That one's going to be caught by number 81, TJ Stormont. That's the senior on the plays. They're going hurry up. This Eagles team going for a perfect season, as last year, said early on the broadcast, that perfect regular season was spoiled by none other than the Republic Tigers in Nixa. Motion. Once again, we're just going to stop mid-play and just go back to the line. Still legal, as we are now hitting under 5 minutes. Handoff, pitch, left side. Parker Mann almost got the tackle, but is able to help take him down with help also from number 91. It's going to be Caden Kelly, the junior D lineman. As number 3 on the carry, Daniel Giles was not able to get anything.
As the clock ticks down, it's your last chance to vote for player of the game. Once again, it's Aiden Hopkins _ on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. It's AIDEN HOPKINS _. Once again, it's AIDEN.
And that will be the player Taylor Dortilia will be talking to for our player of the game interview at the end of the game. Make sure you stay tuned for that after me and Aiden go off the air. What a dominating performance Nixa had tonight. Definitely a good bit to add to the momentum, especially going in next week where they have their hardest test of the season and the Battle of the Birds. Handoff is going to be faked and kept by the quarterback, McCormick. He's going to get up to the 35. 3:37 left as the clock winds down. You know what? I'm so happy we are getting close to that 60-degree weather all the time for a week. 68 outside right now. It is beautiful here in Branson, Missouri. McCormick drops back, rolls out right now. Looking for something on the run, makes a play. Wasn't able to get anything. Ooh, and now a couple of words exchanged.
Definitely a flag.
Should be.
81 has been jawing off to Nixa all night.
TJ Storment.
He's the one that had the altercation with Kevon. He had an altercation with McCoy earlier. And now we're doing it again.
Another one with Sullivan. And he just stood on top of him. I mean, you can trash talk all you want, but you can check the scoreboard and you're down 38. So I don't know what the trash talk is for. And all that's going to happen is you're going to look a little bit silly and your coach is going to give you an earful.
And just how you said, the only reason he's doing this, I believe, is because he's down 38 right now. Boy, Sullivan, welcome back.
I mean, I'm all for a little bit of trash talk. I hate it when they call personal fouls because I think that's just part of the game, makes it more fun. Roll out left by McCormick, and on third down, he's going to fall forward. Does he get the first?
I also think there's a difference between trash talk and standing over someone, flexing on them,
That's
and
true.
stepping over them.
That's true. I agree with that as well, but
especially when you're
down 38. No need to flex over someone when you're down 38.
I think if they were on Nixa sideline when that happened, I think definitely would have been a little different.
Definitely would. I don't think he would have done it if he was on Nixa's sideline. As the Branson Pirate fan base is starting to pack their things up as we're under 2 minutes. And they're just going to QB sneak this with McCormick. Do they get the first? Sullivan says they're short. He pointed the other way. We'll see if they got the stop. And where are they spotting the ball? Doesn't matter, turbo clock's up, so we're about to get under a minute. And are they going to send the crew out to measure? Nope, they're just going to wave on the first down. Minute 08. Final minute now. And ladies and gentlemen, now I can actually say it without having to worry about anything coming back to bite me. The Nixa Eagles take down the Branson Pirates. They're going to move on to 4-0 on the year. Continue undefeated. McCormick drops back, and he's sacked. That play made by number 94. Excuse me, 54. I can read. It's going to be Urban Arnold. And the clock's final seconds dripping down. The Dirty Birds waving goodbye to the Branson fan base. Eagles move to 4-0. Undefeated streak continues. Pirates fall to 1-3. That's going to be the last play of the game. And that is the ball game. The Nixa Eagles take it 41-3 in Branson. They defeat the Pirates, and their trip down south proves successful. As now, only thing left to do is wait for next week where they travel out west. Game starts at 7, pregame show at 6:30. Me and Aiden Hopkins on the call as always. That's going to be one of the best games of the week. And Aiden, why don't you go ahead and see who's player of the game after we get a couple of score updates around the conference. I don't know which one you want to do first.
Oh, I'm going to look at player of the game first. Only 2 votes this week. You guys got to get that up. But
I think there's more than 2.
No, 2 votes.
Only 2.
Both of them were for the same person, Rylan and Michelle. What happens whenever we get a tie?
We flip a coin. We do both guys.
So Rylan Michelle wins player of the game. He had a big receiving touchdown and a big play that I'd say 60-yard play like from the 30 all the way down to Branson's 10. So he definitely had himself a great day. So Rylan Michelle will be your player of the game, and he'll catch up with Taylor Ortilia. Now we're going to look at around the conference. Nothing really is updated right now. Apparently there was a controversial play in Ozark. Apparently Ozark called fair catch and then ran back the play, and apparently the referees didn't see the fair catch and they scored off that. So a little bit of controversy going on there. And everything else has not been updated. We talked Carthage 35, Carl Junction 21. Actually, Carl Junction is at 28 now, so it's 35-28. Carthage has the ball. Webb City Joplin 31-21. Webb City leads. And Public still leads 42-7 as this says. But with all that, I think that's it from us.
One thing I want to say, as you see some of these new graphics pull up, first down, victory screens, touchdown, that was all thanks to, as I said earlier, the man in the chair, Bradley Rosati. Thank you to him. He's been working all week on some of these graphics, so thank you, Bradley, for working on those. That is going to do it here in the booth. Make sure you tune in next week, 6:30 is the pregame show. I'm Ryan Swanson.
And I'm Aiden Hopkins.
And we'll see you next week.
I'm here with player of the game, Rylan Michelle. Rylan, you had a great game. What did you do to prepare?
It was a rough week in practice. There was a lot of running, a lot of preparation, and we got it done.
What are we going to see next week?
Hopefully another W. We got a road to Joplin. I think it'll be a good game.
Awesome. Thank you. Congratulations.
Sorry, I'm busy with a half-baked idea. Do you think you can fix the drain?
Yes, Air Services does the highest quality work guaranteed.
I got your quote. Any surprises in the mix?
What we quote is what you pay, guaranteed.
Are you a good egg?
Sure, I'm highly trained and fully qualified.
Would you like a snack while you work?
I think I'm good.
Get $75 off plumbing at airservicesheatac.com.
Sorry, I'm busy with a half-baked idea.
Now your HVAC is good to go.
Yeah, mine is not good to go. Can you fix this?
Air Services provides the highest quality work, guaranteed.
Yeah, I really thought I nailed it. Am I gonna end up paying extra for this?
What we quote is what you pay, guaranteed.
So you got any tips for an aspiring home repair pro?
You called Air Services. That was the right move for sure.
AC Diagnostic for only $73. Visit airservicesheatac.com.
I've got 3 meetings, 4 time zones. First one starts. 60 seconds. Can you fix my power situation?
At Air Services, we are fully trained and qualified, guaranteed.
Well, your quote's good, but what am I really gonna pay?
What we quote is what you pay, guaranteed.
And you stand behind your work?
You're getting the highest quality work, and that's a guarantee.
Any tips?
Yeah. Just picture them in their underwear.
Save $50 on electrical services at airservicesheatac.com.
Sorry, I'm busy with a half-baked idea. Do you think you can fix the drain?
Yes, Air Services does the highest quality work guaranteed.
I got your quote. Any surprises in the mix?
What we quote is what you pay, guaranteed.
Are you a good egg?
Sure, I'm highly trained and fully qualified.
Would you like a snack while you work?
I think I'm good.
Get $75 off plumbing at airservicesheatac.com.